our iconic stadium, the Silver Bowl. Celebrating 90 seasons, the Silver Bowl was dedicated on October 7th, 1932. Aside from housing the winningest football team in Pennsylvania, the stadium has also hosted the high school band, currently the Big Red Band and formerly the Mounties, musical festivities, the Mount Carmel Special Olympics, religious events, military tributes, boxing, and even a rodeo. MCA Track and Field also calls the Silver Bowl home, and the venue has seen many other sporting events on the scholastic, collegiate, and professional levels. The Silver Bowl has hosted many other school events throughout the years for Mount Carmel area, with the most recent honoring the 2021 girls basketball state champions and graduation ceremonies for the class of 2021. The Silver Bowl has been a generational link to Mount Carmel area's past, and many of our families have stories of fathers, mothers, grandparents, and great-grandparents playing or participating at the stadium. In honor of this milestone, the MCA cheerleaders will symbolically release 10 balloons into the air for each of the 10 decades the Silver Bowl has been in existence, and a banner is in the north end zone marking tonight's celebration. Please join me in celebrating the Silver Bowl's anniversary with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Mount Carmel Area Red Tornadoes. At this time, we ask all to please rise for the Mount Carmel Area Alma Mater, which will be played by the Mount Carmel Area Big Red Band, and remain standing for our national anthem, which will be sung by Xander Jones, Corinne Ennis, and Chancelyn Musser.
Hello and happy Friday to everybody out there, wherever you are and whenever you may be listening. Tonight's WKMC TV broadcast is brought to you by Star Physical Therapy and Fitness. It features the visiting Bloomsburg Panthers and the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. My name is Jim Lesko. Alongside me is my brother Dan Lesko. Jose Gonzalez supports us from the sidelines, and together we're coming to you live from the Jazz Diminick Field at the Silver Bowl. And what's a big night here in Mount Carmel? If there's one thing we appreciate here at MCA, it's tradition, and a lot will be on display tonight. As in addition to homecoming, we're also celebrating the 90th anniversary of the dedication of the Silver Bowl here. As far as between the lines, though, Dan, the Red Tornadoes are hoping to continue their more recent tradition, I would say, of a second-half tear after a 3-2 start through 5 weeks.
Yeah, Jim, and they'll be attempting to do that against a Bloomsburg team that is reeling this week. Last week they lost starting quarterback
Liam
Zentner, and had to move to Daniel Gazevich, who normally plays at a wide receiver spot, and they just were not able to get anything going. They had a very difficult time offensively after losing Zentner. So I think they're hoping with a full week of practice with somebody else in there at that quarterback spot, whether it's Zentner, whether it's Whittam, whomever it is when Bloomsburg comes out here on the field. I think they're going to be trying to find their mojo again.
Yeah, the Panthers aren't the only squad on the field tonight looking for a little redemption after last week. Again, the Red Tornadoes took a tough loss at Southern.
Yeah.
So what do you think Mount Carmel's got to do, Dan, to kind of get back on track here and set themselves up for a big second half?
Well, I mean, they got to get the ball rolling offensively on the ground. The first half last week, they did a really good job, put together some nice drives, but they didn't end in points. And rushing-wise, which is, obviously has been all year the strength of this Red Tornadoes team. I think in the newspaper it said today that the Red Tornadoes have 4 running backs in the top 25 rushers in the district. So, but last week Farinato led the charge rushing-wise with 5 carries for 44 yards, and he didn't play in the second half. He went down with an injury late in the first half, and didn't play at all in the second half. So 44 yards was the lead rusher last week. So they're going to be looking to kind of establish their dominance again on the ground this week, as they did against Montoursville 2 weeks ago.
We see the teams come out for the coin toss. Again, Dan talked about Gazevich. You see he's out there number 3, in addition to the man who will be under center tonight for the Panthers. That's number 1, Michael Whittam. Also Jake Fogelsanger and Cole Stobo for the Panthers. For the Red Tornadoes, they're the 3 usual captains in Davitt, Steller, and Nestico. And tonight's game captain will be Michael Chigatano. But yeah, Dan, so we see the Red Tornadoes, they win the toss and they're going to defer, so they'll wait until the second half. But so you kind of gave a little bit, but what do the Panthers need to do to kind of get back on track? Because again, they're 1-4, but right. I think they're a better 1-4 team than you'll find a lot of places.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the better 1-4 teams you'll see, and I think that'll roll me right into Bloom's keys for the game tonight. So for tonight, the Panthers need to get going through the air. They need to find their rhythm, and they need to make MCA one-dimensional. They have to have that passing game. Zentner was very, very, very tough at the quarterback spot. He put up some really good numbers throughout the season so far, and with 475 yards and 6 touchdowns through his 4+ games that he played. Find your rhythm. You got a new guy in there at quarterback. You got some guys floating around, a lot of injured players over there. We see a lot of guys on that sideline that are not suited up. So you got to kind of find your rhythm, get things moving. And this is pretty much a key for every team that plays against this Red Tornado team. You got to make Big Red one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You have to devote your whole game to stop the run and make them beat you through the air.
Yeah, this is a Big Red team, Dan, that they're going to be out for a little bit of revenge this week.
Yeah.
They had, we got through 3 games last week last year in what was an obscure season, but one of them was kind of what I'll characterize, and I won't say this for anybody else, but what I'll characterize as a little bit of a surprise loss at Bloom. We lost 27-6.
Yes.
So these guys out here, Steller being one of them, folks that were part of that team last year, want to go out and make sure that as they leave the Silver Bowl tonight and as the season ends, they get a big win here.
Most definitely, Jim.
So Steller's going to do the kicking off for the Red Tornadoes. Looks like Gazevich and Fogelsang are going to be back deep for the Panthers. They're around the 12-yard line. And Steller's kick is a low wobbler. It'll bounce in front of Fogelsanger, but he's going to take it. He's going to try to get to the right. He'll be hit first by number 15, Schultz. Dropped at the 31, and that's where the Panthers will start tonight.
Yeah, and Jim, before we see this Red Tornado defense out there, I'm just going to run through their keys for the game tonight. And that'll be get going early, have some ground success, which they, was elusive last week.
Sure.
And bounce back. And I think that defense is going to be, after the second half that defense kind of endured last week, they're going to be looking to bounce back on this first drive.
So Whittam's going to come out in the shotgun. That's Locke to his left. He's got Fogelsanger, Gazevich split out. Wharton in kind of a wing spot. He's going to throw immediately. He's going to look for Locke, and he's not there, so he goes across the middle for Fogelsanger. Too high, incomplete, second down.
And that's really well defended there in that defensive backfield. It looked like both safeties, Farinato and Verano, kind of on Fogelsanger going across the middle there. And Whittam threw it up there, but just a little high.
Spears and Feliciano at the corner for the Red Tornadoes. Farinato and Verano round out the defensive backfield. Virtually the same look for the Panthers. They'll swap out Locke and Wharton. It's a high snap. Whittam's going to run with it off the left side. Tries to get back inside. He's hit hard. Try to see exactly who that was. The Red Tornado is down on the field.
And Jim, the only guy I'm not seeing here is Feliciano, which would spell trouble for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah,
Feliciano.
It did look to be, Dan, to your point, like the number was in the it was the teens. It was There was a 1 and something. I just couldn't quite get a good look.
Unless I'm trying to see. Yeah, Verano's out there, Spears out there. They think that is going to be Feliciano down on the play, which we talked about the Panthers, unfortunately, last week, losing Zentner early on in the game. This would spell trouble for the Red Tornadoes offense. Feliciano not only being their starting quarterback, which it is Feliciano, and thankfully he's up walking off the field, but also the lead rusher on the team.
So we'll have to keep an eye going forward to see what Feliciano's dealing with here, if anything. Again, he'll be tended to very well by Tom Swaldy, Doc Greco down there. Again, Tom Swaldy of Star Physical Therapy and Fitness.
Yes.
Tonight's sponsor for the game.
And hopefully, I mean, Feliciano plays every play at 110 miles an hour. Hopefully he just shot himself out of the cannon there, made a good hit, and kind of got his bell rung. Hopefully he can get back out there quick.
So it's 3rd and 10. It'll be a fake pitch handoff to Wharton. And Wharton's in the middle of the field. He's a tough runner, but the Red Tornadoes react quick enough. I see Kier in there in addition to Diaz, who'd spelled Feliciano. It's going to bring up 4th and about 5 for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's a good first series there defensively for the Tornadoes. You get your defense in there, 3 plays, get them off the field, try and get the ball back here for your offense, and get the ball rolling offensively, which is really where they struggled a lot last week.
Farinato and Spears are back deep for the Red Tornadoes. Parker Jones is the punter. It's going to be a low punt right at Spears. He takes it on a hop, and he's got some space down the left sideline. He'll be run out of bounds by Locke, and there's all kinds of penalties there. Spears was driven into the bench. Fortunately, he's up and making his way back to the Red Tornadoes, but out of bounds at about the 47, and they're going to tack 15 onto that.
Yeah, so this is going to be great starting field position there, and that's what you like to see from a kid like Spears. He takes that hit, driven way out of bounds into the bench. That's the best revenge you can get, is you pop up quick and say, we'll take that extra 15 yards.
Yeah, and Spears, I was curious to see where Spears was going to go. He did come all the way to the sideline as Feliciano went in.
Which is very good news for the Red Tornadoes.
So until it's all said and done, the Red Tornadoes are going to have 1st and 10 at the Panther 37, 10:49 in the first quarter, the Red Tornadoes' initial offensive possession. If you've seen it once, you've seen it a lot. Feliciano's in the gun, Stellar to his left, Verano and Widener to the right, Stellar in motion. Feliciano's going to throw. He's got Verano for a gain of a couple. Good coverage there by the Panthers.
Jim, I'm not going to quote this. Don't quote me on this because I may be wrong, but I think that's the first. Now this is only week 6, but I think that's the first time all season that we've started an offensive a game offensively with a pass play.
I think you're right.
So I like Coach Dyer switching it up there a little bit.
Wasn't much to get excited about offensively last week, but Verano was certainly one of the bright spots, and now he takes the handoff around the left side. Can't quite get the corner. Nice play made by 21, Nasser Kelly for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a really nice job there by Kelly. Verano kind of turned the jets on to get around the corner there. Was able to pick up a few, but Kelly kind of strung him all the way out to the sideline there and was able to get a shoestring and take him down.
2nd and 4. Feliciano hands to Stellar. Stellar is going to stay on his feet, get near the 25-yard line. I think they'll call it the 26, but it's more than enough for a first down. Keep those chains moving. Yeah,
that's a good job there by Stellar. Nice, tough run. Looked like he got stacked up right around the first down marker and was able to kind of push through, keep those legs driving to get a couple extra yards there.
Red Tornadoes up to the line. Stellar in motion. Feliciano keep this one himself. Take a couple white jerseys with him down to the 20. Locke, Gazevich, and Kelly on the stop.
Yeah, good job there. Like you said, you see Feliciano down there on the field and on that second play of the game. So you get a little nervous.
Sure.
Good to see him running as hard as he normally does out there. Hopefully it's nothing, doesn't seem like there's anything lingering from that hit.
And again, Feliciano, the Red Tornadoes' leading rusher in both yards and carries. So certainly the focal point of this offense through the first 5 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to change tonight. Although this time it's Stellar to the right. Does a nice job cutting back across the grain. He'll get inside the 15 for another Red Tornado first down.
Yeah, that's these Red Tornado running backs do such a good job of always finding that cutback lane, whether it's there or it could be the size of a truck to drive through or the size of a pinhole, but they always find it and they always are able to get up in there, and they do just a really good job of finding it.
Verano in motion. It's going to be Feliciano after a couple fakes. He tries to bounce in and out. The ball is out. And the Panthers have recovered. Wasn't much of a signal there, but the Panthers.
Yeah, there was no signal whatsoever.
But it's 1st and 10 Panthers at their own 7.
Yeah, and after starting in really good field position and putting together a quick 2 first downs, a nice looking drive there. The Red Tornadoes kind of the turnover bug gets them there, and that's kind of how things started last week, Jim, too.
This will be the same look for the Panthers. They'll just have it to the field side. Whittem takes the snap and he hands it off to Locke on the right side. Locke will be upended. Davitt cleaned it up. Schultz started the pile.
Yeah, and it's Locke is, you'll see, he's a tough runner. Watching film on him, he's not always in the backfield, but when he is back there, he's dangerous. So it's something the Red Tornadoes are going to have to look out for, because there's a lot of guys that can hurt you offensively on this Bloomsburg team.
Yeah, Locke's a heck of a receiver, too. With, again, the offense looks a little different with Whittem or Gazevich taking the snap than it did with Zentner, but Locke had 17 receptions for 300 yards for the first couple games.
Wow.
And it'll be Locke again, back up the middle. Again, Davitt will finish that one off, but Chicatano on the initial contact. It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, and again, you'll see what the Panthers decide to go with here. They got so many different weapons in that backfield. if they want to stick with Locke here, if they go to Wharton, who's their leading rusher, to kind of pick up that 4 yards here, because they really don't want to be punting this deep from their own territory.
And a big third down here for the Panthers. 6:52 left in the first quarter. No score yet. 3rd and 3. Woodham pitches to Locke. He's going to try to get north and south as fast as he can, but it'll be stopped short. It's going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah, Schultz was the first one in the backfield there. It looked like he was able to kind of evade a blocker and be the first one to get a hand on Locke, as and then the defensive backs there kind of came in to clean that one up. But really good job there by Schultz getting into the backfield and making that stop.
Now we'll see Parker Jones here, Dan. The first punt was maybe a little more directional, but in the shadow of his own goalpost, we'll see if he tries to uncork one like he has in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Farinato's sitting by himself at the 50, and he can definitely get it there.
We're going to have a flag here, so the Red Tornadoes are going to have an option depending on where this stops. Farinato's going to pick it up on a hop. He'll get inside the 40. So as it stands right now, it's going to be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes at about the 39-yard line of the Panthers. But there was a lot of movement along that Panther front.
Yeah, so we'll see. No signal yet if the Red Tornadoes are going to defend it, but everybody's switching out. The offense is coming in. The punt return team's coming off. So I'm not sure if they were notified that there was a penalty.
Yeah, the only flag is on the far sideline.
Yeah. But you're right. I think if they decide to take this 5 yards back, now, personally, I would just take the ball in the field position you've got, because we talked about that leg that Jones has. He can, if they decide to make them re-kick.
Yeah, and they ultimately, the Red Tornadoes just declined that one.
Yeah.
Content to take 1st and 10 from the 39.
Yeah, I mean, starting your first 2 drives inside your opponent's 40 is a pretty good field position to start the game. Last time, the turnover got him.
Handoff to Farinato. Pick up a few out to the 36.
Yeah, good seeing Farinato back, like we talked about earlier. You know, one of the top rushers on this team, top tacklers on this team, and didn't see him at all in the second half last week with an injury. So it's good to see him fully healthy, and it looks like he's at full strength as well.
See if Farinato will step in. He'll take that wing slot that Verano occupied in the first drive. That'll be a snap to the up back. That's Widener. Not a whole lot there for him. He'll get inside the 35 to the 34 and set up a 3rd and about 5.
But Jim, this type of offense, the way that the Red Tornadoes were kind of moving on their first drive, and the way that they're moving so far, if they can just keep things going, is, you know, it was kind of the recipe against Montoursville that gave them so much success in the ground game. Just pound the clock, pound the rock.
.445 left in the first quarter for this 3rd down. It's a sweep to Stellar. He's got a lot of room, a lot of red jerseys in front of him. He cuts back across in the middle of the field. He'll be tackled down at about the 16, but again, another Red Tornado 1st down.
Yeah, and props to the offensive lineman. We try to mention everybody throughout the week, but you had Tank Kelly out there, Nick Nestico out there, Kellen Geary, Noah Shimko, all 5 of them, Dalton Moser as well, all 5 of them were downfield getting a block at the 2nd and 3rd level there to spring that one.
Same play from the Red Tornadoes. It looks exactly the same with all those big red jerseys out front. Stellar will get another 1st down and be inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal, Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and that's, again, another really good run there. And I kind of like Coach Darra's reasoning there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time with this offense. It's a pretty straightforward setup, but that's a new wrinkle. I don't remember seeing, you know, what amounts to like a student body right.
Yeah.
One more time, Stellar off the right side, and he's in. Touchdown, Red Tornadoes.
Yep, and and Jim, you know, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why go away from it if it's going to give you that much success? I love that Coach Darra decided to do that. And you know, these Bloom Panthers, they run a 4-4 defense, which usually has 8 guys in the box as opposed to, a normal 7. You don't have defensive ends, you have outside linebackers, so they're at that second level. So really, if you pull all those guys, they can get up into the secondary to that second level where the linebackers and the defensive backs are, and downfield to block. They don't have to worry about kicking out a defensive end. That could be a wrinkle that Coach Dara put in this week for this specific defense.
It's a good snap and a good hold, and the kick is no good off the post. So it'll stay 6-0. That's only the second extra point Stellar's missed this year, Dan.
Yeah, and he's kicked
reliable.
a lot.
Yeah.
He's kicked a lot of them. So that's unfortunate there on that one. But again, Stellar usually likes to take all 7. He said, you know what, this time I'll only take 6. That's all right. But that was a very, very good-looking drive there from the Red Tornadoes.
Again, so we're at the 3:54 mark here in the first quarter. Again, just a little over 8 minutes have gone by. It's a beautiful night here at the Silver Bowl. Again, the 90th anniversary of the dedication of the Silver Bowl, October 7th, 1932.
Wow. And homecoming.
Of course.
Homecoming. So it's a good week all around, and a good start here on the field for the Tornadoes to go along with all this awesome stuff we got going on here. You talk about tradition. That looked like a traditional Red Tornado ground and pound right there.
Gazevich and Fogelsanger back deep yet again for the Panthers here. Stellar's kick is going to be taken by Fogelsanger at about the 14. Going to try to get upfield there, run through a couple tackles, but he's going to take a big shot. And there's a flag that came in from way downtown, we'll call it, Dan.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Looked like a single-digit number there making that tackle. Not sure if it was Davitt or Farinato. They both kind of came out of the pile.
Well, we're going to get another targeting penalty here on the Red Tornadoes.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's tough seeing it from up here. I mean, I think it would be tough seeing it from about 30 yards away as well to make that call. But, came from the back judge there who really sometimes these good solid hits, they look bad because they're good hits. But, these guys are taught form fit and, not to lead with their head, how to get your head turned to the side, putting your head across the chest. They're taught that stuff. They've been drilled that for years and years and years now since this helmet-to-helmet contact has started to become such an issue.
It's going to bring the ball all the way out to the 47-yard line. So it'll be 3 to the left for the Panthers. Parker Jones by himself to the right. Fogelsanger goes in motion. It's going to be Wharton up the middle, but there's nothing there for him. Red Tornado defense collapses quickly. Gain of 2.
Yeah, really good job there. The defensive line just kind of held tough, and you're right, didn't give Wharton anywhere to go.
Maddox Reed was in there for the Red Tornadoes for a play as Schultz had come off after the kickoff, but he's back in there. Red Tornadoes seem to be operating at full strength. A pistol set from the Panthers. And they hand it to Kelly. The ball's on the turf. He does a good job of falling back on it. Excuse me, not Kelly, that was Locke.
Yeah, Locke, and you're right. Had a little trouble handling that one, but luckily for him, was able to fall on that ball.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 here for the Panthers. Again, they've been in these 3rd and long situations a couple times so far tonight. So see if there's anything they can do differently here. They had a little bit of success early, Dan, getting Whittam on the move.
Yeah. So I think with it not being in the shadow of their own end zone, I think they're definitely going to let Whittam put the ball in the air.
He's got Locke as a protector. He's going to throw. He's under pressure immediately from David and Chicatano. He's going to throw. He has Gazevich. He had him near the first down marker, but until the play kind of ends, he's going to be a couple yards short. They're going to mark it at the Red Tornado 46-yard line.
And that's actually Fogelsanger there that pulled that one in.
47-yard line. Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
It's going to be 4th and 4.
Yeah, and looks like no changes here offensively for the Panthers, so we're going to see them go for it here on finally in Red Tornado territory.
And that makes sense, right? Coach Kogut kind of looks at it and says, all right, we've got to make a decision somewhere.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you have a turnover on downs on this play, the Red Tornadoes are still starting in the worst field position they've had to start a drive.
And they're going to take a little extra time to talk about this. Coach Kogut's going to use his first timeout of the first half with 2:20 remaining in the first quarter, and the Red Tornadoes on top, 6-0.
And Jim, I like what Coach Darrett did there. You get a third and long, and you kind of know that's a passing down for these Bloomsburg Panthers. So what does he do? He brings the house. Bring the defensive ends off the edge. Don't have to worry about contain. Go get the quarterback. Bring David up the middle. Don't worry about your hook curl zone. Go get the quarterback. And he had Whittem. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon, running to the sideline there, trying to just get away. And wasn't able to really deliver a very accurate pass. Vogelsanger still pulled it in, but wasn't able to deliver a very accurate pass.
So we'll break the huddle here. Again, 4th and 4 as we reset from the Red Tornado 47-yard line. We'll see exactly how the Panthers come out. Looks like Vogelsanger's going to be by himself to the field side. Gazevich split out to the short side. Whittem has Wharton in the gun next to him. Double tights for the Panthers. They go with a hard count and motion on both sides here.
But it's going to be against the Red Tornadoes.
So they're going to get the Red Tornadoes for that one. The Panthers had their tight end in the Red Tornadoes secondary.
Yeah, they did.
But nevertheless, that'll be 5 against the fellas in the red jerseys tonight, and it'll be a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, it looks like just something that I didn't take notice to earlier. They got Liam Bradley in there at defensive end. Looks like they've got Matt Chicatano at defensive tackle. We normally see him at one of those defensive end spots.
So they'll stay in the shotgun. This time it'll be Locke with Whittem. And it's an interesting looking play there, but no luck for the Panthers. The Red Tornadoes sniff it out immediately. The delayed handoff to Locke for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Julian Steller put a stick on Locke in the hole there, actually in the backfield. But yeah, that looked like a sprint draw there, trying to get the defense moving one way and have the running back come back across the grain. But Steller stayed home and sniffed that one out real quick.
The Panthers will just flip the formation here. Send the receivers to the field side. Whittem's going to try to get the ball out quickly. He's got Locke, who's going to come back across the grain, and he's got a little bit of room now. Came all the way back across the field. He's not going down. He'll be inside the 25, down to the 24, so a nice pitch and catch there of about 19 yards from Whittem to Locke. Most of that being done by Locke.
Yeah, and Jim, that's a real dangerous thing to do. Come all the way back across the field, come back through your offense, through the whole defense. But it paid dividends for Locke there. He did, and I mean, along with making a few guys miss and breaking a few tackles, he turned that into what could have been a very minimal gain to, like you said, a nice 19-yard pickup.
Whittem is going to throw it again. He's rolling to his right. He's got a lot of time. He's going to throw it to the back of the end zone. He's got Gazevich, and it's a touchdown for the Panthers. Gazevich got behind the defense, and Whittem had the time to find him from 24 yards out, and it's 6-6 with 55 seconds left in the first quarter. The Panthers poised to take a lead.
Yeah, Jim, that's what Whittem brings to this team. That's the difference. That's the thing that they were missing last week. With granted, with Gazevich in there at quarterback, they had the threat of the run on every play, but Whittem has the ability to not only get out of the pocket, he's listed as a receiver on their roster, so he can not only get out of the pocket and keep his eyes downfield, he can also deliver a strike in the back of the end zone.
Dortchler on, and the kick is blocked by Davitt. So a huge play by Davitt to keep us knotted at 6.
Yeah, that's a very big play there by Davitt. And Davitt's been making big plays pretty much all over the field all year long defensively. He's been the, he's the second leading tackler, only 2 tackles behind Stellar, or 3 tackles behind Stellar coming into this game. And he does it on special teams, he does it on defense, he does it on offense. He's always a threat somewhere, and that's a big play for your confidence and for, the momentum going into the kick return here and getting the ball back for the offense.
Yeah, and Dan, what was interesting there, I don't think I'm exaggerating. This is week 6 now. That's the most time I've seen a quarterback have against this Red Tornado defense. I mean, Whittam was able to, and again, give him credit, he made the right read.
Yeah.
But that's tough for your defensive backfield to stay in coverage that long.
I have to agree with you, and I think a lot of it is, we haven't faced teams with that threw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
This year. All through the first 5 weeks, there weren't too many teams that really threw the ball a lot, and the ones that did throw the ball occasionally, they didn't really do a great job of it. So Whittam, that escapability gives him extra time.
Farinado has a little trouble recovering Parker Jones's kick as it was low, and the Panthers do a great job of covering the kick. It'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes at the 15, as Farinado could never really get a handle on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one there, and going to be a long field for the Red Tornadoes to play with here. But if they can have the same success they had on their last drive offensively, I don't think we're anywhere where they start on the field is going to be an issue.
Get a different look at that Red Tornado offense for the first time tonight, Dan, being down as far as they are here. We're kind of our spot in the press box. We're in front of them.
Yeah.
It looks like Spears is in there at quarterback right now, and he's going to hand it to Davitt. He'll get across, get back to the line of scrimmage, give him 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just kind of getting Feliciano and Stellar a rest here. Nothing major. They're both up on the sidelines, ready to go. But that's just the versatility of these offensive backs. You can pretty much pull the quarterback, pull the running back, and put 2 guys in there, and they're still going to get the job done.
It'll be Davitt again, and Davitt's in the open. Again, a lot of red jerseys to run behind. He'll get the 1st down, so the clock will stop momentarily, but that'll wind up being the last play of the first quarter.
And that's a real good run there by Davitt. Did a good job picking his way through there.
So that'll hit zeros now that they've set the ball. So at the end of 1, it's locked up here at 6 between the Red Tornadoes and the Panthers.
Yeah, Jim, we talked about that Bloom defense, or Bloom offense, kind of trying to find their rhythm, and it appeared like on that last drive they really did. I mean, they had a good mix of run and pass to kind of move them down there, but it's going to be the passing game, I think, that keeps them in this game with the Red Tornadoes tonight.
So again, we've got a beautiful night here at the Silver Bowl, and I think it'd be remiss. So we always talk about, the Jazz Diminick Field. Of course, you know where that comes from, the Gary Breslin track, right? Like, we kind of understand where all those things come from. Jerry Breslin, I don't know why I said Jerry Breslin track, but the Silver Bowl itself, if you've ever been kind of curious where the name came from, it's really for the reason you think it is. In the mid-1930s, once we kind of had bleachers on both sides and they were painted silver, a local sports writer just kind of said, "Oh, it's Silver Bowl," and here we are, 90 years later, and it's stuck.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how that stuff works.
It is. Yeah, it's crazy how you think about people that their parents call them something goofy when they're a little kid, and the nickname just sticks with them.
Right.
That's kind of what happened here for the Silver Bowl.
So even after the quarter break, Dan, it looks like it's going to be Spears and Davitt again. Now again, outside of that, the Red Tornadoes will stay with the other 9. We'll call them, right.
Yeah.
Looks like Widener and Verano, but Spears is going to throw it. He looks, he's got Chickatano. A huge reception made by Chickatano. Out across the 45, the 46-yard line, 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
And that's a really good ball there from Spears, along with a good route from Chickatano. Just a really well-designed play there. They did a good job. They kind of got Spears. Seemed like he had some really good composure in that pocket too. It was starting to collapse around him, and didn't get happy feet or anything like that. He kept his shoulders square and delivered a dime. Dropped a dime in there on Chickatano.
Panther down. It's number 59, Ken Zheng. So we'll wait and see as he's tended to. Again, remember tonight's broadcast brought to you by Star Physical Therapy and Fitness, providing great service to the area for a long time. But it's also worth noting that the sights and sound of tonight's game are coming to you live thanks to, again, Star Physical Therapy and Fitness, and just in general, the generosity of the Red Tornado community, both near and far. We know you're out listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, staying in contact with your roots here. And so just remember, as the Mount Carmel Area School District and its partners continue to do big things, no donations too small. Be sure to listen throughout the broadcast each week for ways to support our efforts, or call 570-339-1500 for more information. And one of the ways to support the efforts, again, is not just within this terrific student-run TV studio in WKMC TV, but also just make sure you're coming home and supporting local businesses.
That's it. Went through a rough patch with COVID last year. Local businesses need your help now more than ever, and keeping these places in business around here is not only keeping food on the table. It's keeping families fed. You're supporting a local business. You're not just supporting a corporation. You're keeping families fed. So continue to support local business.
And Zheng is going to need to be helped off the field by a couple Panthers. Certainly wish him well and hope to see him, back. If not this game, at least this season. So we'll go from here again. We'll get a little reset. 11:53 remaining. So we're only 7 seconds here to the second quarter. Red Tornadoes in a tight one, locked up at 6 with the Panthers of Bloomsburg. 1st and 10, Mount Carmel at their own 45. Davitt's in motion, but it's going to be Spears. Not much going on there. Tackle made, it looked to be by number 62, Devin Yoakum, after a gain of only about a yard.
Yeah, that's and Spears comes out, Feliciano goes back in, and that's a really good couple of plays there from Spears.
Yeah.
So, can't be upset at that kid. Got Feliciano a break. Now he's going to get himself a break. He plays that corner opposite of Feliciano. And, Feliciano's going to go back in there and take back over.
Verano in motion. They'll fake it to him. Feliciano keeping himself. He's up the middle. He's in space. 1st down, Red Tornadoes.
And you see, get him on the sidelines, give him a little break, and he comes in and busts off a 10-plus yard run there for a first down. So I think Coach Dara is really starting to see that he's got so many different people that are interchangeable that he's going to be able to get these guys more breaks, so that way they're not playing every down both ways.
And again, we can't say it enough. Just talk about that Red Tornado offensive line.
Yes.
Kelly, Nestico, Moser, Shimko, and Geary. And you throw in the tight ends of Chickatano and Schultz, and that's a formidable foe. As Feliciano's now is going to throw. Had Chickatano across the middle a little low, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that ball's just down a little bit too much. Chickatano, like right around his kneecaps there, wasn't able to pull that one in. But the action on the fake there, that was something. And I'm not sure if Feliciano just did that on his own or if that's part of the fake. Usually, we see him on a rollout. It's just a straight rollout. That time he kind of threw his left hand out with Verano coming in motion the opposite direction. Kind of played a fake a little bit, might have held a couple of guys there and gave him, there was nobody in front of him when he got out there on that outside. He was able to see all of his receivers.
Davitt in motion. It's a high snap. Feliciano does a good job pulling it down. Davitt runs behind those Red Tornado, those blockers, and there's something you don't see every day, Dan. Give Shimko credit. He ran through a safety.
Yeah, yes, he did. He did, and that's, you know, we talk about the size of this Red Tornado offensive line, but just the quickness as well. Like these guys are big and can move. I mean, they're getting out there in front of running backs, fullbacks, quarterbacks, all guys that have some wheels, and they're getting way down the field like that.
It's Feliciano again, and he's going to be tripped up by Locke. So nice play there made by number 5, who doubles as the Panthers' leading tackler this season.
Yeah, and at least looking at these first couple drives, I don't think that's going to change moving forward this game. He's kind of all over the field, coming from one of those, what is he, an outside linebacker spot, I believe is where he's sitting at. Inside linebacker, even better against this Red Tornadoes game.
The pitch to Davitt. He'll lower his head there. So again, we'll have to see. There's another flag in the area of the contact. It looks like it occurred out of bounds, but it's hard. I can't tell who, like, really can't tell anything.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to see where that's at. Targeting on the defense.
So we'll go 1-1 on targeting penalties through the first 14 and a half minutes of gameplay here.
Yeah, that's you know, and it's tough sometimes to, you know, be able to just focus. You know, you're just trying to hit somebody there. You're both running at full speed, and it's very difficult for people to see, you know, keep your head up and make a hit, make a tackle. You want to make a big play. Sometimes you dip that helmet, and the other guy dips his helmet at the same time. So no malicious intent, but definitely a safety thing. So the referees are keeping a very close eye on it.
First and goal from the 9. It'll be Feliciano again, but a nice play made. We'll see who was on the bottom. One of the Panther defenders grabbed Feliciano's leg. It looked like it was number 40, Blake Zeisloft.
Yeah, and there's a late flag there in the pile as they're trying to get people off of Feliciano. So I'm assuming this is going to be against the Panthers as well. Looked like there was some extra, maybe not. It looks like they want to move Red Tornadoes back.
Yep.
Wow.
So when some of that stuff happens, Dan, it's hard to tell really where it, you know, who initiates, who retaliates and whatnot. But Zeisloft had Feliciano by the ankle. Again, you know, all well and good. You come through, that's where he grabbed him.
Yep.
And it just looked like it took a little while for Feliciano to go down.
Yeah.
And so you always wonder, is there just a lot going on there? Feliciano will come to the sideline, Spears will head back in.
Well, by the end of that play, there were only 4 white jerseys still standing. So that means there were 7 Panthers on top of Feliciano. So, and it looked like he was the only one in that pile with a red jersey on.
So it'll be, now it's going to be goal to go for the Red Tornadoes from the 28-yard line. And they'll hand it to Verano, get him outside. He's trying to find his way, but Zeisloft is going to come through again and finish that play off. So it's going to wind up being now 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that there was a very good job defensively by the Panthers. Their entire defense kind of flowed with that play and stayed pretty steady right in front of all those pulling linemen that got to get out in front of Verano. There were just as many defensive linemen all the way to the sideline with them. There wasn't really anywhere for Verano to go.
Again, Spears and Davitt back there tonight. 3rd and goal from the 24. Spears is going to throw it. He's got Verano wide open for 6.
And that's a very well-designed play there by the Red Tornadoes. Honestly, hopefully somebody at home is watching the replay, because I don't even know where Verano came from. I know he's normally in that slot spot, so he must have snuck all the way across that formation with Spears rolling to his right and the little throwback there, and Verano just kind of got lost in the defensive backfield, and nobody picked him up.
Yeah, and I'll confess, I was focused in the I'm focused in the backfield with the ball with Spears because he was under some pressure. Wharton was given a good run, a good push. He was getting upfield a little bit, but Spears did a good job. And that's the second time we've seen a pass where Spears kind of shows his poise.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Lets the play develop and delivers a ball that's on time and on target. Stellar's kick is up, and that's more what we're used to. It's 13-6 Red Tornadoes with 8:46 left in the first half.
Yeah, I like the decision there. It looked like there was a little discussion on whether you're going to go for 2 there, but because you were able to block Bloomsburg's extra point when they were on their last touchdown, when they evened it up, you take the 7, you take the 1 for the PAT there with Stellar, who's nearly automatic, rather than go for 2 and then give the Panthers an opportunity to take the lead with a touchdown and extra point next time they get it.
Yeah, that's a big play. I mean, obviously it's a big play because it's a touchdown. It's also a big play because you had 1st and goal inside the 9. You make the mistake, you lose your temper, you're cool, and you're facing 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. That's tough. That one doesn't feel like it's gonna, it doesn't feel as inevitable as 1st and goal from the 9.
Right. Yeah, I have to agree with you, and I think you're 100% right. And you're right that just the poise that from Spears there, and Verano, I don't know if he went into stealth mode going across that defensive backfield, but nobody was near him. All he had to do, and the concentration. Those are the hardest ones to catch when you're wide open and you know it's going to be a touchdown as soon as you get it in your hands.
Stellar's kick is going to be taken by Gizevich, this time at the 12. A lot of red jerseys there. Spears first, Schultz there as well, Al Bailey. Nice team tackle there by the Red Tornado kick coverage team.
Yeah, that's a good job. And that's something that we've seen improved over the last few weeks, Jim, is that kickoff team. First few weeks of the season, giving up a lot of long returns. Stellar, the kicker, who's normally the safety guy, had to make a lot of tackles on the kickoff team. And it seems like now that it's the discipline. They're staying in their lanes. They're breaking down when they get to blockers and to the ball rather than trying to run around blockers. So they're doing a much better job this year, this part of the season now.
Parker Jones, a single receiver to the left. It's Vogelsanger and Gizevich to the right. Whittam's going to roll to the wide side of the field. Now they try to get it to Locke on a screen. He makes a nice catch, but the Red Tornadoes are there waiting. Davitt made the reception difficult, and Kier made sure Locke couldn't get anywhere once he corralled it.
Yeah, Davitt made the reception difficult, and Kier made getting up off the ground a little bit difficult for Locke there. He got a hold of him, and that's a big boy to be slamming Locke down to the ground like that.
Winds up being a loss of 2, so it's 2nd and 12 now from the 33. This time Jones comes in motion to join the field side, and they're going to throw a quick inside screen to Gizevich, a hard slant rather, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, I think that's like a combination there, Jim. I think you were right with the screen idea. That's one of those tunnel screens where you kind of come in and get behind your other receivers out there and try to find that lane in the middle of the field when you come back towards the ball. But again, that's a really good job defending that. But this is with a timeout here from Coach Kogut in Bloomsburg. This is going to be what the Red Tornadoes are going to have to expect for the rest of the game. I mean, they've had success throwing the football on their only scoring drive so far, so I think we're going to see a lot more of them putting the ball in the air.
Kogut takes the second timeout, 7:56 left in the second quarter, 13-6 Red Tornadoes. Just want to take an opportunity again. Aaron Domansky, PA announcer here at the Silver Bowl, instituted a Tornado throwback for this season. This season he picks out 2 or 3 Red Tornado alum. We'll cover one real quick. Is just Colin Kwiatkowski, a 2018 MCA grad. Colin's playing offensive guard for the Lebanon Valley College, wearing number 56. When he's not playing football, he's a business administration major. After graduation, he plans to eventually own his own business and become a professional fisherman. A man after my own heart.
Yeah, right.
So congrats, Colin. Good luck to you and the Dutchman the rest of the season. Whittam struggles with the snap, and he goes down immediately. It's Stellar first on sight. So big sack there. Now they'll give him forward progress. It'll wind up being less dramatic than it looked, but nevertheless, it'll be 4th down Panthers from the 26, and they'll be forced to punt.
Yeah, that's still going to be, and Jim, this is kind of the growing pains you're going to go through. The Panthers kind of need to be expecting this. These are the growing pains you're going to go through with a new guy in at quarterback. Last week, Gazevich took most of the snaps after Zentner went down. Now you got Whittam back from injury this week, taking all the snaps, and that's just what's going to happen.
Nice punt from Jones. He's got Farinata retreating all the way back to the 35. A little bit of a return setup. He does a nice job getting in and out. Flags all over the place. So Farinato's down at the 44-yard line, but we've got a couple different markers to sort out.
Yeah, a few flags thrown in the same area, so I'm assuming they're for the same penalty, I would assume. I'm thinking that this is probably going to take the Red Tornadoes back.
All right, so that one's going to be against the Red Tornadoes.
Is that a helmet-to-helmet block?
I think
maybe?
it's a high. I'm trying to think if it's a high-low.
No, that's usually this chop block is usually down around the knees. This was right in the middle there.
Yeah, it's a personal foul against the Red Tornadoes. It's going to take him 15 yards back for sure. But I mean more so, Dan, not a chop block, but the effort against kind of when you have the guy engaged up top.
Okay, yeah, it could be.
Not just the kind of regular below the knees, but nevertheless, we'll have to sort that one out. That's not on my sheet here. Feliciano and Stellar both back in there. Feliciano up the middle. Now he's trying to bounce to the outside. A couple Panthers take themselves out. Feliciano puts the brakes on to let others go by before he finishes the run. Big gain all the way down to the 36-yard line, so that's going to be about 36, Dan.
Yeah, and Feliciano back with a vengeance there after that, that hit he took on the last drive, and the penalty that followed. He gets back out there. The first play of this drive, he decides he's gonna try and take it to the house there. Unfortunately, got caught from behind, had to do a little dancing around there, but made a great run to get the Red Tornadoes into plus territory already.
Same look for Mount Carmel. Stellar in motion. Feliciano's going to throw. He's under pressure immediately. It was Locke who forced him up in the pocket, but Fogelsanger's going to get the credit for the sack officially.
Yeah.
And he'll lose about 7 back to the 43.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Usually whenever the Red Tornadoes go play action, they get Feliciano on the run outside of the pocket there. That was more of a straight play action with a straight drop, and a lot of pressure came up the middle. The inside linebackers, Fogelsanger and Locke, both coming from that inside, Fogelsanger coming from an outside linebacker spot, Locke coming from the middle, so they had a linebacker blitz on there, which is usually spells problems when you run play action.
Just past the halfway point of the second quarter, 5:53, 13-6, Red Tornadoes. Feliciano to throw again. He wanted Stellar on the screen, but the Panthers had sniffed it out, and Feliciano is going to ultimately get sacked again. He's going to lose 2 more. They'll be back to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 18.
Yeah, Jim, I think that it was a little deceptive there for Feliciano. I think that Stellar had gotten behind the defense, and I think there was some room out there if that he would have been able to get that ball out to him, and Stellar would have been able to make something happen. But because of where the defenders were at, kind of in Feliciano's face, he couldn't really tell with the depth perception there how much room Stellar really would have had on the outside.
So Stellar comes out, Verano goes in. We've seen this from the Red Tornadoes when they want to open up a little bit.
Yeah.
So they'll go a wide receiver to each side of the formation. There's going to be a flag on the play.
Delay a game, I think they're going to call.
I don't think that was a delay of game. Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like the referee that called it down here on the sideline. I saw him kind of put his arms up, signal and delay a game right away. And Coach Dara not happy about that. So looks like the play clocks are off this week, which makes things difficult.
So that 3rd and 18 becomes a 3rd and 23. Feliciano's going to roll to his right. He's going to look for Verano, and Verano does a nice job making the catch, but he loses his footing. It's going to be about a yard shy of the initial line of scrimmage, bringing up a 4th and 11.
Yeah, and that's a really good job there by Verano, and I think if he would have been able to keep his footing, he would have got even more, possibly even the first down, because if he would have been able to make that cutback, which he had it there, like I said, if he could have kept his footing there weren't too many people in the middle of the field. He would have been able to get back up in there.
Red Tornado's going to, a lot of times when you're going for it on 4th down, again, this is a weird spot of the field to punt anyway.
Yeah.
But you're showing the trust in your defense.
For sure.
It'll be the same look. Feliciano has Widener. He rolls to his left for Farinado, and he's got Farinado, but it's going to be short of the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers at, we'll see where they mark it.
So about the 28, I think.
I think you're about right, Dan.
And maybe the 29, maybe.
It's 3:54 left in the second quarter, 13-6 Red Tornadoes.
It's a big drive for the Big Red defensively and for the Panthers. You know, time kind of winded down here in the second quarter, and you got your they have a dangerous pass game, which, you know, little 2-minute drill or 4-minute pass game for Coach Koga and his Panthers could knot this up before the half.
It'll be the 29 that they start the drive. Whittam's going to throw right away. He's looking for for Gizevich, that is. There's a little hand fighting there, but the ball's overthrown, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Really well defended there by Spears. Did a good job. He was locked up with Gizevich. I mean, he had Verano kind of coming from that safety spot with help late, but he was left on an island out there, and that's what you do with a kid that you know covers well and has that, you know, everybody says Spears is the fastest kid on the team, so you know he's got that ability to kind of make up yards if he does get beat on a double move or something like that. So Coach Dara, a lot of trust in him, but doesn't really have an issue putting him on an island out there, which he's out there again.
And they look in that direction again. Gizevich on that slant in the middle of the field does a nice job. It'll be 1st down Panthers at the 40.
Yeah, and that's pretty well set up there by Coach Koga. You know, you let Whittam throw it deep there to Gizevich, just for Spears maybe to give him an extra step, give him a little cushion, and then hit him on the quick slant across the middle. It's very well schemed by the Panthers.
Same formation, receiver to both sides, double tight end, a single back with Whittam. And he's got time again. Now he's going to run, and he just sneaks out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Stellar. I think Stellar was the one that rode him out there at the end of the play.
Pick up 6 out to the 46-yard line. But again, Dan, I can't help but notice Whittam seems to have more time.
There's definitely not much pressure coming from this Red Tornado defense right now, and I'm not sure what exactly is going on with that. But I pointed out earlier, Matt Chicatano not coming off that defensive end spot, coming from a D tackle spot now, and they're probably sending 2-3 guys just to stop him.
Fogelsanger goes in motion. They hand it to Wharton on a counter play, but that's not going to go anywhere. Keir grabbed Wharton around the waist and made sure he didn't go any further, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Keir in there to get a hold of Wharton, and then the rest of that defensive line looked like Kellen Geary, Chicatano, Schultz, William Bradley. The whole front 5 were kind of in on that tackle there.
2:40 here left in the first half. Another 3rd down situation for the Panthers. Gizevich and Fogelsanger will go to the left in a twin set. They'll stay double tight with Locke and Faust. Whittam's going to roll to his left immediately. Now he's under pressure, and he comes back across the field. He's going to go upfield, He's going to try to run for the first down. Davitt's going to ride him out short of the first. So a big play made by Davitt. It'll be 4th and about 2 for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's a good job, too. You know, Davitt was inevitably the one to make the tackle there, but Feliciano was locked up with Locke here over on this sideline and kind of just waiting for Whittam to kind of switch fields and come back this way, and did a really good job kind of just staying with Locke, not getting bullied around, not getting pushed out of the way, and inevitably made Whittam slow down enough for Davitt to get to him.
So the Panthers are going to go for it here. See if they opt for a hard count again here, Dan. They do. They got a little flinch in their own backfield that goes uncalled.
Oh!
Nevertheless, ball's incomplete, and that's the least awful thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
As Verano got a hand on it, and if he got 2, it would have been 6.
Yes, that would have been a very quick pick 6. Verano would have been saying yick him up on that one, taking it to the house. But,
1st and 10, Red Tornadoes from the 48 now. They got a little over 2 minutes to see if they can add another score here before the half. And this is one of those fun ones we talked about last week where it worked against the Red Tornadoes. In this case, it works in their favor where, because they're going to receive the second half kick, you have a chance to go back-to-back here for some points if you can figure it out.
Yeah, double up on scores.
Stellar takes the sweep, and all those red jerseys in front of him. He bounces to the outside. He'll utilize that stiff arm. That was going to be dragged down, but again, we've seen this before. Sometimes that stiff arm gets a little tricky. He's right at the first down marker for the time being.
Yeah, I think, and it's difficult at times too with that stiff arm. We'll see what the call is. Yep.
So it'll be a face mask. We were right about that, but it's going to go against the Panthers. So that's another one where it kind of works both ways, right? You're getting pushed away. You're trying to grab something.
Right, and I think that's pretty much what it is. You get the, like you said, you know, Stellar's hand. As long as he doesn't close his hand when he's using that stiff arm, he's clean. That's clean. He keeps that palm open. He doesn't close it up and grab a hold of anything. That's good. But
it looks like it's only going to be a 5-yard version.
Yeah, agreed.
And it'll be Stellar again. And now he's in the open. He's going to try to run through the last tackler. He can't do it. Gazevich does a good job of dragging him out of bounds. But another big run from number 24 to get inside the 20.
Yeah, and looks like Stellar, who is currently the Red Tornadoes' second leading rusher, is trying to compete with Feliciano here. It looks like he's trying to take the bulk of the carries today, and he's turning them into something every time he gets an opportunity.
It'll be ball placed at the 18, 1st and 10. Stellar in motion. This time they fake the pitch, and Feliciano keeps it himself. He runs through some arm tackles, stumbling, bumbling all the way inside the 10. He'll dive forward to the 9. It'll be 1st and goal, Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and that was an effort play there by Feliciano. You're right. He stepped through some arm tackles and ran through some arm tackles and stepped through some shoestring tackles there, and unfortunately stumbled just a little too much, couldn't keep his feet, because if he did, it would have been 6, but it was at least a 1st down.
Stellar in motion again. He'll get the pitch yet again. He's going to try to break to the pylon. He puts his head down and he bullies his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Julian Stellar from 8 yards out.
Yeah, I like that. I like that from Stellar there. That's what we like to see. You know, a little old school running. He tries to beat him to the corner, tries to turn the jets on and get to the edge, and just kind of waltz his way in. But once he realizes that the defender's got the angle, he says, okay, I'm going to have to initiate contact. And by him initiating contact, he gets the defender off balance and is able to drive himself and the defender into the end zone for the touchdown.
Stellar stays out there for the PAT. It's a good snap and a good hold, and the kick is good. So with 1:09 left in the first half, it's 20-6, Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and that's another really good one there for Stellar. A good drive there for the Red Tornadoes, but again, for Stellar, for sure. He gets the 7 points at the end of it, and does most of the work to earn it, too.
Yeah, last week we had Stellar. He kind of took sole possession of second place all time in kicking points and kicking extra points, I should say. So made PATs and points while kicking, however you want to phrase it.
Correct.
He's got a little ways to go to catch number 1, Mike Stankovic, but certainly within reach by the end of the season. So we'll keep tabs on that over the next couple weeks and see if he can close that gap. And, you know, again, this Red Tornado team certainly seems like they have what it takes to make a deep playoff run again, so you get some extra opportunities there as well.
Yeah, and you know, when this offense is humming like it is currently, he's going to have a lot of opportunities to kick extra points. You know, with four and a half games remaining just in the regular season, this team can score some points.
Right now he'll be kicking off, and it's a boot. Gizevich is going to struggle with it at the 5. The Red Tornadoes do a good job of collapsing and staying in their lanes. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers at the 25 with 1:04 left in the first half.
That's a real nice job there from the Big Red on coverage, and Stellar getting that boot out there, giving them plenty of time to defeat their blocks and all kind of converge on that
was
ball.
a lot.
Yeah, the hang time on that seemed like it was up there forever.
So we'll see. Again, the Panthers can throw it. So, you know, the time itself isn't necessarily prohibitive of making an effort here. Locke will be split out to the left, 2 to the right. Whittam's going to throw to Locke, but a great play made by Schultz to knock that down at the line. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And you're right. The time's not going to be an issue if they're able to complete it for first downs. But with Coach Kogut, again, you know, you got a new guy in there at quarterback. Coach Kogut having to use 2 timeouts already in the half. They only have 1 timeout remaining. So if they're going to have to, if they complete the ball anywhere in the middle of the field, they're going to have to get up on the ball quickly to keep things moving.
Now it's a 4 wide set from the Panthers. They're going to have to use their 3rd and final timeout.
And that's going to make things very difficult now for Coach Kogut moving forward, because now you have no timeout to fall back on it. You know, we talked about it in pregame just a little bit with Dorschler, the kicker.
That's true.
He's got longs this season of, or his longest kick, I should say, is 42 yards. So, I mean, you put this kid, you get the ball down on the 25, he can make it. And I watched that kick. It was against Midwest. He made a 42-yard field goal, and he had plenty on it. So, I mean, really, you get anywhere near the 30, I think he's got enough leg to put one through.
I mean, we just saw last week Justin Tucker kick from 66, so it's a good week for long kicks.
Yeah. You kind of got good weather conditions. It's not too cold out. The ball's doesn't feel like a rock when you kick it. Yeah.
Not going to break your toe just yet. A couple more weeks, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Probably around that Shamokin game. That's when it's going to start getting bitter out.
But we're back here, 102, 4 wide, Wharton to Whittam's left. And it's a quarterback draw. Whittam's upended by David, who did a good job staying home there. So it'll be 3rd.
Really good job. And
3rd and about 5, but the Red Tornadoes are going to call a timeout now, Dan.
And maybe, I mean, this is their first timeout. Maybe Coach Darrow wants that ball back and wants a shot at putting another score up, getting maybe a 3-for-1 rather than a 2-for-1 there with, you know, scoring and then getting the ball back right away in the second half.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw anything there, Dan, but I always wonder in those cases, too, did Coach Darrett just see something he didn't like? So Whittam's, you know, it's a quarterback draw, but did Gizevich or somebody sneak behind a defender? Is it just, you know, is it a moment to say, hey, don't fall asleep yet, guys?
Yeah, I mean, it very well could have been that. Or it could be Coach Darrett just trying to be a little bit aggressive. So we'll see here if there's any scheme changes. It looks like he definitely has moved Verano and Farinato back a little bit deeper, it seems like, in the defensive backfield.
So again, it's 3rd and a long 4, we'll call it.
And
53 seconds.
All the defensive backs are given a lot of space, which is going to kind of make this easy to get a first down at least, but I don't think the Panthers are looking for a first down currently.
A lot comes in motion across the formation, but the Red Tornadoes are all over it as they try to pitch it to Wharton.
And there's another Mount Carmel timeout. I like that from Coach Dara here. That's aggressiveness.
And it's uncharacteristic.
It is.
Which makes you wonder, did they see something?
I mean, now I don't want to assume anything, but yeah, it makes you wonder, did they see something, or is Coach Dara still spurned a little bit about that game last year? And, wants to kind of go up 27-6 before the half and say, yeah, you beat us 27-6 in 4 quarters, well, we're beating you in 2 with that score.
Farinado and Spears are back again. Parker Jones, though, he's got a boot.
He does.
There's a part of me that thought maybe they'd go after the punt, because if Jones gets it off, you're going to have a long field if you want to score any points. He's going to get it off. It's end over end. It's going to bounce. And the Red Tornadoes are going to let it die at the 39-yard line. So they'll have 45 seconds. Start this drive 61 yards away from the end zone.
And I think I'm just trying to scan really quickly here, Jim. I don't see Julian Steller heading out there onto the field. And it doesn't look like Michael Farinado. I said Dominic Farinado. Michael Farinado is getting in there. So they're going to open things up.
Yeah, he and Verano are both out there again. Farinado split out to the field side here.
Yeah, so we're going to open things up, and he's going to go for 6 points here. And I like the aggressiveness from Coach Dara on this. I really do. See if it pays off.
Luciano going to throw. He throws a quick hitch to Verano. Verano does a great job of making the first guy miss, so he can pick up about 10 more yards. He'll get well into Panther territory already and importantly get out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes at the Panther 42.
And maybe this is one of these defenses. They're running that 4-4 up front. Looks like they've got a cover 3 in the defensive backfield, which means the 2 corners and the safety have deep thirds of the field. So that underneath passing game is going to open things up a lot if they continue to do that.
It's the same look. That one gets away from Feliciano, sails out of bounds. But to your point, Danny, you had him again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With this cover 3 defense, you got the 4 linebackers kind of covering underneath routes, but the 2 corners and the safety are dropping to deep thirds of the field, and there's nobody out covering those flats. In a 4-4, you don't have defensive ends that are designed to go out there, and those outside linebackers coming from a linebacker spot can't get out to that flat quick enough to kind of stop that underneath pass game if they stay quick with it.
This time, Farinado and Verano are going to be on the same side of the field. Feliciano's going to take the snap and roll to the field side. He's under pressure from Wharton, and he's going to go down. Wharton hit him first, but 52, Jimmy Lyons drop him as well. The Red Tornadoes don't call a timeout. Nope.
Yeah, they
Clock
do.
stopped. They do call a timeout. Okay. So that's going to make it 3rd and about, what do you want to call it, Dan? 18.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 3rd down play here, but we've seen, and I'm curious to see what Coach Dara does here. I'm trying I always try to pick up numbers to see. Julian Steller is still down here on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Davitt is also still here on the sidelines. So they're going to stay open. Coach Dara isn't going to chalk this one up as a loss and run it into the ground for the last 25 seconds. I think he's going to throw the ball here again and try and get at least this first down, possibly more.
Yeah, so 2 things. Number 1, now Red Tornadoes out of timeouts, right? So even though, you may consider this 4-down territory, if they're tackled inbound short of the first down, they got to make a quick decision here.
Yeah, and maybe that's what that timeout was for as well, to get 2 plays in there, hopefully, to Feliciano.
And the other thing, as Feliciano moves around, give a lot of credit to Ryan Widener in there. He's doing a great job of protecting kind of Feliciano's blind side. And they're going to throw a quick screen, almost a rocket screen to Farinado. Farinado's going to get out of bounds quickly, only picks up a couple yards. He'll slip into the bench, but fortunately he's up and back at it. So 4th and about 14 for the Red Tornadoes here, Dan.
Yeah, and good job there getting a little bit, but unfortunately, like you said, that screen kind of just, I think it worked a little too quick, and the defense was all over it. You know, coming into your own sideline there, that's tough. But we'll see now. They got 4 yards back, which is better than 18 to go. But we'll see. They're going to have to throw something deep here.
And to go back to having Verano on the far side of the field, he's got a lot of cushion again. And he's going to run just a post and try to overthrows it. It's right into the arms of Gizevich. Gizevich is down the left side now. Feliciano does everything he can to make sure he doesn't take it the rest of the way. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers at about the 45-yard line. So again, just as the Red Tornadoes were kind of in a Hail, I don't know if you want to call it a Hail Mary, but kind of in that range, now the Panthers kind of are too.
And that's the danger there, Jim. You have your that underneath pass game against that cover 3 is a very good one to run.
Yeah,
underneath pass game against that cover 3. But when you get into a 3rd and long situation, that's where that cover 3 works against. You can't throw those 4 or 5 yard passes when it's 4th and 14. So unfortunately, Feliciano had nowhere to go with it. Didn't want to take the sack, forced it down the field. Thankfully, he was able to make that tackle, because that could have very easily been a pick 6 and completely flipped the momentum of this game.
Lock comes in motion, so winds up being a trips to the right, and a throw it low. It'll bounce in front of Wharton, incomplete. And I was curious there, 5 seconds left on the clock here. I was curious there, Dan, to see if Coach Koga had anything in the lineup to get a quick out, pick up 10 or 12 yards, and give Dorschler a chance at least.
That could have been what it was. I thought, when I initially saw Wharton come out to the flat, I thought that they were working a little bit of a hook and ladder. They were going to hit somebody on the outside and get the pitch to Wharton. We talked about Wharton being their leading rusher up to this point. But we'll see now. I don't think they got time to try to get Dorschler in the range, so they're just going to have to go for the end zone.
So barring a penalty or something super quick, this should be the last play of the half. Whittam's under pressure immediately. It's going to be intercepted. And now it's Stellar Verano. He's all the way down the side, and just like that, it flips. And the Red Tornadoes are going to have a huge play to end the first half.
And that is a huge play, Jim. That is a big-time momentum shifter there.
And Whittam was still standing there. Again, just kind of recognizing just how quickly that flipped.
Yeah, and Jim, down on that sideline, I don't see any real arguments or anything. I mean, Coach Koga's out on the field a little bit there, but I don't see any real arguments. You're that close to the sideline, you think he had to have stepped out of bounds. He might have stepped out of bounds, trying to make guys miss, sticking his foot in the ground there just to shake Whittam to get himself into the open. But no argument from the Bloomsburg sideline. He kept that in bounds, and he took that all the way to the house. That's a humongous play.
Stellar's kick is blocked. So technically the last play of the half, an untimed play, is going to go against the Red Tornadoes, a blocked extra point, but nonetheless, don't let that put a damper on what's been a very successful first half for Mount Carmel as they go into the locker room ahead 26-6. And we'll be back after the half, just a short break here with stats in the second half. So please don't go anywhere. Make sure you come back if you do.
Fans will be beginning our homecoming festivities shortly here at the Silver Bowl. Reminder to fans that halftime will be a 20-minute halftime for homecoming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our halftime festivities. Highlighting halftime will be the crowning of the 2021 Mount Carmel Area Homecoming Queen. Homecoming is a tradition at Mount Carmel area, with many young women competing for the honor of being crowned. Members of the senior, junior, and sophomore classes voted for their choices this past week. At this time, we are going to introduce to you 3 senior candidates and 2 junior and 1 sophomore representatives who have been chosen by their respective classes. Our sophomore representative is Miss Lauren Bogovich. Lauren is the daughter of Tom and Christy Bogovich of Coltmont. She is a member of the cheerleading team, an honor roll student, and was a previous FOE Eagles Teen of the Month. Some of her interests include shopping, traveling, and spending time with family and friends. Lauren's future plans are to attend a 4-year college or university. She is being escorted tonight by number 44, Ryan Widener, sophomore member of the football team. Our first junior representative is Miss Alana Chapman. Alana is the granddaughter of Monica and James Lesko of Mount Carmel. She is a member of the Senior High Chorus, Art Club, and STEAM's Woodshop program. She is a previous Junior High Pride Award winner, Distinguished Honor Roll student, and a member of the National Honor Society. Alana is also a member of the Co-op Lord's softball team and is employed at Boyers. Her interests include spending time with her family and friends, painting, and playing softball. Her future plans are to attend Bloomsburg University and eventually become a veterinarian. She is being escorted tonight by number 14, Garrett Verano, junior member of the football team. Our second junior representative is Miss Avery Dowkis. Avery is the daughter of Dan and Melissa Dowkis of Coltmont. She is a Distinguished Honor Roll student, a member of the National Honor Society, Art Club, Spanish Club, Interact Club, and a Novel Idea Reading Club. Avery is also a member of the varsity track and field team, varsity cheerleading team, and varsity softball team. She is a previous FOE Eagles Student of the Month Award winner, a School Board Merit Award winner, and was previously the WVIA Artist of the Week. Avery also currently holds the shot put record at Mount Carmel area, and her interests include playing sports, reading, art, and spending time with friends and family. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college and major in engineering. She is being escorted tonight by number 71, Nick Nestico, junior member of the football team. Our third junior representative is Miss Morgan Coletta. Morgan is the daughter of Mike and Deb Coletta of Mount Carmel. She's a Distinguished Honor Roll student and a member of the National Honor Society. Morgan is also in the PEP Club, Future Business Leaders of America, Math Club, Spanish Club, and is a member of the varsity cheerleading team. Morgan was a previous FOE Eagles Student of the Month Award winner and a previous School Board Merit Award winner. In her spare time, Morgan enjoys spending time with her friends, shopping, and cheering. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college and then attend law school. She is being escorted tonight by number 76, Michael Keir, senior member of the football team. Our first senior representative this evening is Miss Bryn Everett. Bryn is the daughter of Kurt and Shannon Everett of Mount Carmel. She is currently the vice president of the senior class and president of Future Nurses of America. Bryn is a member of the varsity track and field team, a Think Big student leader, and an honor roll student. Her interests include shopping, sports, and spending time with her friends. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college to major in business administration and healthcare management. She is being escorted tonight by number 3, Thomas Davitt, senior captain of the football team. Our second senior candidate is Miss Mia Chapman. Mia is the daughter of Jack and Michelle Chapman of Mount Carmel. She is the captain of the varsity soccer team and a member of the varsity cheerleading, basketball, and track and field teams. Mia is a distinguished honor roll student and a member of the National Honor Society. She is also a member of the Spanish Club, Math Club, Future Teachers of America, Future Nurses of America, and a Think Big student leader. Mia is also the president of the senior class. Her interests include sports and hanging out with friends and family. Her future plans are to continue her academic and athletic career at a four-year college as an education major, followed by the Pennsylvania State Police Academy upon graduation. She is being escorted tonight by number 24, Julian Steller, senior captain of the football team. Our third senior candidate is Miss Gabrielle Shucker. Gabrielle is the daughter of Rachel Paxton of Mount Carmel. She is a member of the Color Guard and the MCA Big Red Band. Gabrielle is also a member of the TV studio, the senior editor for news reporting, and is an ambassador for Trio Upward Bound. She is president of a Novel Idea Reading Club and a member of the Art Club. Gabrielle is an honor roll student and a member of the National Honor Society. She's employed at Knoebels Amusement Park as a games operator and at Geisinger Hospital in Danville as a co-op nursing assistant. Gabrielle enjoys working with children and is passionate about her future career. She plans to pursue a doctorate in psychology while specializing in trauma and PTSD cases for adolescents. She is being escorted tonight by number 50, Dalton Moser, senior captain of the football team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for these lovely ladies and their escorts. The final moment of anticipation has arrived, so at this time, I would like to introduce to you the 2000 homecoming queen at Mount Carmel area, Mia Chapman. Crowning Miss Chapman will be Pedro Feliciano, Kenny Wetzel, and Michael Farinaro presenting her with gifts. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 homecoming court, and one more time, homecoming queen, Miss Mia Chapman.
Hey, welcome back here to the Silver Bowl. Getting ready to start the second half. The Red Tornadoes put forth a strong first half, jumped out to a 26-6 lead. I had a lot going on at the halftime here. Homecoming. Got to see the homecoming queen float voting. Just a good experience here at the Silver Bowl. But luckily, thanks to our good friend Jose, we do have some stats to kind of put some numbers behind what you saw in the first half. So, Dan, would you be kind enough to share some of those?
Yeah, why not? Thank you again, Jose, for always keeping us up to date on these and getting them up here quickly so we can, let all the good people know. So Mount Carmel rushing, 27 carries for 189 yards, 14 first downs. Passing, 7 of 11 for 87 yards. So kind of, 11 pass attempts in the first half has to be probably a season high for
Yeah, I would think so.
Honestly, I don't know if he's had 11 in a game so far, but so that's stellar. 8 carries for 79 yards, and Feliciano 9 carries for 50 yards. So those guys are kind of carrying the load on the ground. And then we head over to Bloomsburg, 14 rushing attempts for 16 yards. 5 of 12 passing for 59, 4 first downs for Bloomsburg. So the Red Tornadoes doing a really good job getting that ground game going.
Yeah, you said about Feliciano, 15 of 29 on the season coming in.
Okay, yeah.
So 11 passes in a half, certainly a tendency breaker if you want to call it that. But again, so we'll see how they get the second half started here. The Red Tornadoes are going to be on offense first, and we had talked prior to the end of the first half about when Mount Carmel had the football, thinking, it'd be nice to get another score here, and then you get the ball back to end the half.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened, albeit not exactly how we thought. The Red Tornadoes were able to stretch their lead to 20 points, courtesy of a Garrett Verano pick six. And it was, again, those plays happen so fast, it's hard to catch the exact yardage, but it's 50-plus yards, 55, 60 yards, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And just a great play, and we talked about it a little bit at the half, Dan. It's how those plays work. Verano makes a good play on the ball. He makes one guy miss. In that case, it was Whittam, the only one that had a chance.
Yep.
And then it's a foot race to the end zone.
Yeah, and we talk about this. If you want to look back at a little scoring recap, it's Stellar, Verano, are the scores for tonight.
That's good.
Stellar has two rushing touchdowns to go along with his 8 carries for 79 yards, which again, he's definitely carrying the load out there offensively. And then Verano has a touchdown reception from Spears, and then the touchdown reception from Whittam as well. So he caught a touchdown pass from both teams' quarterbacks. 2 out of 3 of them, actually,
yeah.
With Feliciano's been working his way in there with Spears as well, and been carrying the ball really well.
That's now the second defensive touchdown for this Red Tornado unit as well. They had the pick six / fumble, whatever you want to call it, with
Hughesville, yeah.
At Shikellamy.
Or yeah, I'm sorry, Shikellamy.
On the road at
right,
Shikellamy, yep.
Right. I knew we were on the road. I just couldn't remember where.
So, and importantly, I think we'll see on the other side what Coach Kogan and the Panthers bring out again. They're, as you called it out, I think correctly, Dan, in the opening, a bit of a gut punch last week with losing Zentner.
For sure.
And they've tried to find the rhythm, which I know is one of your keys. So I don't know if you want to talk about your keys at all and whether or not you think they hit them.
Yeah, and we'll go with Bloom right away. The only successful key I'm going to give them was get going through the air, because I think that's kind of where they're gonna make their money throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Letting Whittam throw the ball and kind of opening things up for that tough run game that they have. Unfortunately, that was all we can give them.
Low kick there for Jones. It's going to roll. Farinato will pick it up at about the 18. Tries to pick his way. He'll bounce to the outside and just run out of real estate. He'll get dropped at about the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and that's a good return there by Farinato. And as we see the Big Red offense take the field, I'll just highlight their keys here quickly. Their successful keys. They didn't really get going early. They kind of sputtered a little bit. They got off to a little bit of a slow start with the early turnover, and kind of only putting up 6 points there in the first quarter. But they definitely have had ground success with that 189 yards, and they've definitely bounced back this week.
This will be Farinato to start the second half, and he's going to spin back into the middle of the field. He'll pick up about 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2.
It's a good run there by Farinato. That little spin move there was pretty shifty. I wasn't sure what he was going to do there for a second. It looked like, I didn't know if he was going to just break back inside, but he went with the spin, the pirouette, put a little zest on it.
There's a little more speed to that spin than we saw last weekend with Nick Diaz.
Yeah, Nick Diaz is the slowest spin ever.
This is a snap to the up back, Widener, and Widener's in the open field. He's going to use the stiff arm. Big play made by number 8, Nathan Borchard. He'll ride Widener down, but we've seen that snap to the up back a lot this season, Dan, and that's by far the most successful it's been. Widener will get him down to the 27-yard line.
Most definitely, and that feels like that was more of like, that was one of those plays that really popped when Daukus was Mount Carmel's fullback. When he was in there at that fullback spot with Burkowski and Widener at running back, was the Daukus seemed like he had a really good eye for that and could really feel his way through. And that's Widener kind of channeling his inner Damon Daukus there, and breaking that one.
Feliciano's going to throw. Incomplete. A lot of action there, but ultimately the ball falls to the turf.
Just a little behind Chicatano. Looked like Chicatano was trying to kind of keep that pass or keep that route going, and I think Feliciano kind of was hoping that he would sit down in the zone and tried to hit him in that hole in the zone there.
Dan, you talked about Widener and, possibly starting to see some of those holes that he's trying to run through. Friendly reminder, Widener's just a sophomore at 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he's a big boy carrying the football. He's going to be dangerous.
This time it's Steller up the middle. Feliciano does a great job of carrying out the fake, and Steller's going to do the rest. He's inside the 5. He dives through the pylon. They're going to have him out at the 1.
He wants that one. And you see Nick Nestico there, and it looks like Farinato too. Everybody's talking to Coach Darris, saying, "Hey, give him the ball back." he fought hard for that one. We think he got it, but let's get him this one. Let him take a little plunge here for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And that effort just kind of come to be what we expect from the young man wearing 24 on his back.
Most definitely. I mean, he's already leading the team in touchdowns, I think, Jim, to this point. A wildcat here.
It'll get stopped before it gets started. Offsides against the Panthers, so it'll be, rather than 1st and goal from the 1, it'll be 1st and goal from about the half-yard line as they'll move it half the distance here.
Yeah, and we will see. Again, they're going to stay in the Wildcat. Feliciano's on the sideline, so they're going to try and let. Most of the time we see this, they put David in there and they just let David lead Steller. I'd like to see him switch it up a little bit. Let Steller hand it off to David and let David get up in there for 6.
You mentioned before Steller leading the team in touchdowns. He got 5 coming into tonight, and he's going to have his 3rd of tonight, a 1-yard plunge.
That'll put him at an even 8 on the year now. It's pretty impressive through 5.5 games. It's pretty decent numbers there for Steller. So, and again, going to be looking to take all 7 here with the extra point.
32-6 as it stands right now. 10:23 left in the 3rd quarter. Red Tornadoes on top of the Panthers here on the 90th anniversary of the dedication of the Silver Bowl.
Jim, while we talk about 3rd quarter scores currently, why I'm missing.
Steller's kick is up and good, 33-6.
Currently, something to keep an eye on. Currently, why I'm missing, up 41-21 at Southern Columbia. A 20-point deficit there for the Tigers. Now, they came back from 17 2 weeks ago against Wyoming area in the second half. So they're just making things a little more difficult for themselves.
So Dan, while you have your score stream up, you got anything else going on around the area? I mean, I know Mount Carmel, for instance, we know we've got Danville next week.
Correct.
What's Danville looking like today? I think they have Montoursville, right?
Well, Danville was in a very tight battle there when I checked at halftime, but they have taken off on Montoursville. They are now up 27-7 in the 4th quarter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. another team we've got coming down the line here, and seeding-wise matters because they're playing Troy, is Loyalsock. Loyalsock is currently up 10-7 at the half against Troy. So, you know, we talk about those northern tier teams, and sometimes, you know, they got that high ranking, but sometimes, you know, we can admit sometimes they're not playing the quality of opponents that we're playing down here in the southern tier a little bit. But Troy looks like they're taking everything Loyalsock can throw at them. That's a really good, close game.
Stellar will be kicking. Again, that one's going to be in the direction of Nazir Kelly. He'll take it at the 14. He'll be thrown down by Schultz, who has been near or part of, I think, every kickoff tackle tonight.
Yeah, and I think he's definitely, I mean, he's benefiting from being kind of in the middle of that kickoff team, because he's able to get down there, but does a really good job of just, it seems like he gets down there untouched. He's always breaking down. There's no blocker around him. He does a really good job kind of weaving in and out of blockers, but maintaining his lane as well.
So we'll see what the Panthers, they can start to muster a little bit of offense here. Gazevich and Fogelsanger will split out to the left. Orton's in the wing. Locke is to Whittam's right. Whittam's going to throw. He's under pressure, but he's got some space now. He's towing that line of scrimmage. Ball will sail high and wide, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good job there defensively. Stellar looked like he was almost tasked to kind of be a spy on the quarterback there, not giving Whittam the opportunity to run that, because Stellar was kind of just standing right in that flat, waiting for Whittam to make a decision. If he's going to throw it, I'm gonna jump up and you know, try and get my hands on it. If he's going to run it, I'm here to make the stop.
And give Whittam some credit here. Again, we've talked about it before. He's done a nice job of keeping his head up and his eyes downfield as he kind of navigates the pocket.
Yes, he most definitely has for you know, it being his first game starting at quarterback this year.
This time he's going to run it off that left side. He's going to try to get outside. But that's where Tom Schultz lives, and he's not, Jacob Schultz lives, and he's not going to let him get out there. It'll be 3rd and 11 after a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Schultz did a really good job just keeping contained and turning him back inside, and had him wrapped up there, and Chicatano comes in there as well on the tackle.
9:40 left in the 3rd quarter. The Red Tornadoes took the second half kickoff, marched down the field for another stellar touchdown to stretch the lead to 33-6. Panthers trying to answer. 3rd and 11. Whittam rolls to the right under pressure immediately. It's going to bounce at the feet of Gazevich and will be 4th down Panthers.
Yeah, and again, nowhere for Whittam to throw that one. He had the time. Again, you know, the pressure kind of, I think a lot of the time this pressure comes up the middle from this Red Tornadoes defense, you know, off the edges, but up the middle as well. And they've been doing a really good job just scheming Whittam to kind of get to the sidelines. Yeah. And it's given him a lot more time. But unfortunately, that time, the Red Tornadoes just in great pass coverage downfield. They did a really good job of sticking with their man throughout the length of that play. And Whittam had nowhere to throw it but into the ground.
So Parker Jones on to punt for the Panthers. Spears and Farinato back deep for the Red Tornadoes. It's a good snap. Good punt from Jones. Farinato will call for a fair catch and take it at the 44-yard line. So that's where the Red Tornadoes will start their second drive of the second half.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Farinato, just calling that fair catch and you know, getting the offense back out there. And we'll see what the Red Tornadoes decide to do here. You know, we saw them kind of move things around, switch quarterbacks and switch backfields, and they are going to do that. It looks like Davitt in there as well, with Spears heading out there onto the field to call the signals.
So, and as you pointed out earlier, Dan, the jerseys might change, but the offense still continues to kind of look similar. So Davitt will be in the sidecar with Spears, Widener and Verano in the wing. They'll go double tight with Schultz and Chickatano, and then, of course, the big offense up front. It does look like Ken Wetzel's in there at center right now, though, Dan.
Yeah, it does.
And Spears will try to keep it. They'll blow to play dead before he goes down, but he's going to lose about 3 on that one, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, it looks like Jagodinski going in there for Widener. You see also Tank Kelly and Nick Nestico over here on the sideline, so we'll try and see who we've got in there. You still got Moser at the left guard and Shimko at the left tackle, but that right side of the defensive line is going to be different.
This time it's going to be Davitt. And Davitt almost squeaked through. We got into Panther territory down to the 48-yard line, excuse me. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and on the right side of that offensive line, it looks like you've got Geary, who bumped out to guard from the center spot when Wetzel came in, and you've also got Kier at that right tackle.
Okay.
And, nothing's going to change offensively. You're right. The players do, but the game doesn't. You're still going to run behind that big right side.
And it's going to be Davitt again. He'll have the first down, trying to find open space. He'll get down near the 35 to the 36 for another Red Tornado first down.
Yeah, that's another great run there by Davitt. Two in a row there, and just following his blockers down the field, doing a really good job, just kind of getting up in there, finding the crease, and turning it into a nice gain.
On the other side of this too, Dan, is when we sit here and we sit, 33-6, 27-point lead for the Red Tornadoes. I'd be curious to see if they score, if Coach Dara opts to go for 2 to get that running clock.
Yeah, and I think this would be the point you want to do it.
As the snap goes to Jagodinski, who's in there in the fullback's position, he'll gain really a tough 3 yards, make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, he had number 62, Devin Yoakum, on his back there, and he just kept his legs pumping. He did not want to go down, and that's pretty difficult. Devin Yoakum's running about 6'3", 220 pounds out there, compared to Jagodinski, who's probably sitting at 5'11", $180, and a freshman against a senior there. So that's a good job.
Spears again. He'll get across to 25. He'll get another Red Tornado first down. And Dan, I'm never not impressed by the Red Tornado skill positions, whether it's quarterback, tailback, the slot backs, the fullbacks, whatever. Once they kind of get through that first line of defense, they get through the first level, those defensive tackles, and just start to pick their way through linebackers and their own blockers and defensive backs. It's always impressive.
Yeah, they all seem to have like really good patience. They don't really, they hit the hole at 100 miles an hour, but they have the patience to be able to kind of sit back and feel their way through the secondary.
Spears does just that again. He's going to come up a yard short of the first down. Be pickup of 9, but he'll get inside the 20 down to the 16.
Yeah, again, another good run there. Verano, who's usually a pretty big focal piece of this offense, when Feliciano and Stellar are in there, it looked like he was looking over the sideline saying, let me get one. Let me get one, coach. So we'll see if they decide to go with him here, if they send him in motion.
They send Davitt in motion one way, but to your point, Dan, they give it to Verano coming the other way. The Panthers are sitting on it, though. It's going to be number 50, Cole Stobo. And I think it looked like a lock in there to make sure he didn't pick up anything.
Yeah, and that's a good job defensively. It looked like they were thinking the same thing as me. And, Verano hasn't had a carry on this drive. They're probably going to go to him. They snuffed that one out pretty quickly here. But, again, this offense is built to pick up 2 to 3 yards here, so should have no issue with this third down conversion.
Yeah, it's just a matter of who's going to pick it up. And it looks like they're going to trust Davitt. He goes outside, now he's back inside, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. 39-6 Red Tornadoes, 16 yards from Tom Davitt.
And Jim, for a guy that is not one of the premier backs on this team, Davitt is shifty and has some wheels, man. Once he gets past that initial line of scrimmage, or that initial line of defenders, you're right. He's able to pick his way through and then turn it on at the end to beat guys into the end zone.
Looks like the Red Tornadoes are going to opt to kick here. Stellar on for the extra point. Again, Verano to hold. And that kick is up and good. So with 5:13 left in the third quarter, the Red Tornadoes stretch their lead to 40-6 over the Panthers.
Yeah, and again, another really good drive. And we talk about it week in and week out. And you know, you mentioned it earlier. It doesn't matter who you put in there. That offense stays the same. And 99% of the time, it's successful.
So we talked about it a little bit before. We talked about one of Mr. Demansky's tornado throwbacks. Let's give another one a shout out here. So this one's Harrison Reese. So Reese is a 2018 Lourdes graduate. Harrison's a 2018 Lourdes graduate, currently playing offensive guard for Lock Haven and wearing number 54 for the Bald Eagles up there. Away from the field, he's a health and phys ed major with a 3.0 GPA and wants to become a gym teacher and coach football. So congratulations, Harrison. Best of luck to you and the Eagles in your game tomorrow at Millersville. Cool, again, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Demansky, for providing those. That's a cool little update that we can give to everybody out there listening, wherever you might be listening. And again, wherever you are, if you're listening, you're enjoying this, big thank you tonight to Star Physical Therapy and Fitness for making this possible, as well as the efforts of the WKMC TV studio. It's going to be Kelly from the 11 for the Panthers. He's going to get knocked off course a little bit there by his own teammate.
Yeah, he did.
Before getting dropped at the 35. 1st and 10 Panthers from that spot.
Yeah, so we'll see this, a few changes here to this Red Tornado defense, which we'll try and update on. Looks like Chicatano and Schultz both coming off the field, along with, so it looks like that's going to be Liam Bradley at the left defensive end, and Noah Shimko in there at right tackle. Number 2, Maddox Reed, I believe.
Yep.
In there at, actually now at the left defensive end with Liam Bradley at the right.
It's a low snap. They'll hand it to Ward. He's going to slip in the backfield and get tackled for a loss of 2 there. In addition, Dan, to your point, it looks like you got Farinado is on the sideline. Diaz has gone into the corner. Feliciano has stepped back to the safety position.
Yeah, and that's and now we've got Stellar frustrated, wanted to stay out there on defense, but he's going to get his time to take a little breather now with Yagodinsky going in there at that inside linebacker spot next to Davitt.
2nd and 12, 4:25 left in the third quarter. Low snap. Whittam's going to try to get to Fogelsang, who makes a good effort, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and again, that this defense looks pretty good here. Diaz in good coverage there on Fogelsanger. So this it doesn't matter who you have in there. They get the job done. These guys are very well disciplined, and they all have really good technique. You know, moving forward here, maybe not this game, but in the future, we might see Diaz on offense as well, because the Red Tornado. Oh yeah, Jack Robert, who was kind of plagued by an injury earlier in the year, in there at nose tackle, number 61. Good to see him back suited up and out there on the field.
Whittam to Wharton. Gain of 3, 4th down. But yeah, Dan, we talked about people listening from all over the place. Want to give a shout out from Kettle Creek Campground outside of Renovo. Big part of our lives. Frank Semino out there. Hey, Frank, hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Most definitely. Glad
4th and 9.
Glad to see Frank's out there. Keeping in contact and keeping an eye on the game, too. But yeah, Diaz was at Supper Club, and Coach Darris said that he has played very, very well offensively on the JV squad. So we may see him in there at a wingback for a little bit at some point here.
illegal substitution against the Panthers. I'll take them back 5, make it a 4th and 14. And again, looked like they were in the same boat, just making some changes, trying to get some of your special teams set up.
Yeah.
Didn't work out just right.
Yeah, it's tough. And then you said about Farinado being on the sidelines for the defense. He's also going to stay on the sideline on the punt return with Spears back deep with Verano this time around.
Parker Jones will unleash another nice kick in the direction of Spears. Spears will take the fair catch at the 35-yard line. Red Tornadoes will pick up from there.
Yeah, so we'll see this more changes on this Red Tornado offense. We'll try and get them. I'm going to try and call some guys out here as they're rolling out there. You got number 28, Al Bailey, number 7, Matt Belichick, Xavier Diaz in there on the offense. As I mentioned, we may see him. Number 31, Braden Brinkash. You've got number 12, Andrew Lukowski. Let's go to the offensive line here. Number 72, Maddox Lamas. We've got number 54, Caden Hine. Number 70, Michael Langdon. He was also at Supper Club last night.
53, Jacob Doak.
Yep, Jacob Doak there, 53. Try and check the tight ends. Al Bailey at one of the tight ends, and Chase Belichick at the other one.
This will be a handoff to Diaz, who's going to get to the outside. Woo! There he goes.
And there's a flag.
There is a flag, but my goodness, he's quick. So he's going to get down to the 20-yard line, but there's a flag early on in the area of offensive holding, so that one's likely coming back.
Yeah, and that's tough. Like you said, Diaz does a really good job breaking a few tackles outside, gets outside, and takes that down the sideline. And turn those wheels on, man. He is quick.
Yeah, he created some separation in a major way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan, you talk about all those changes. I know last week, obviously the Red Tornadoes made some changes in the second half for a little bit different reason than they did for tonight. But this unit, they looked really strong when they got the opportunity. Again, especially Belichick, Matt, that is the quarterback.
Yes.
Running and throwing.
Yeah, and he did, and he's not afraid of contact. Like neither one of those Bleachers. We call Chase's name out on kickoff and punt return and stuff like that a lot. He's always in there around the ball making tackles. These Belichicks, they're not big kids, and they're young. They're both freshmen, but man, they are gamers. They go out there and they play like their hair is on fire, and they go 100 miles an hour every play. And it's a good thing to see because it's a very, very good thing for the Red Tornadoes' future.
It's going to be Diaz again off the right side. He'll get stopped up. There isn't able to bounce it to the outside. He'll fall forward, get to about the 33-yard line. He'll make it 2nd and 14 with 2:40 left in the third quarter. The Red Tornadoes currently on top, 40-6.
Yeah, they're going to go back to Diaz there, and unfortunately the Panthers defense isn't going to let them do that twice in a row. But 2nd and long here. Maybe we'll see Belichick put the ball in the air.
Diaz comes out. Reed goes to that slot next to Belichick. They're going to snap it to the up man. And the Panthers came through from the beginning. That's number 40, Zeisloft, who saw that coming the whole way and was able to knock the play backwards. The Red Tornadoes will lose about 3 on that one for 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and with that play there, it looks like Doak's going to be subbed out, and Gavin Dempko, number 66, is going to sub in there on that offensive line. But now with 3rd and long, we'll probably most definitely see Belichick put the ball in the air.
Sends Reed in motion. Oh, they're going to hand it on the inside to Lukowski. I believe that is number 12. Yep, yeah. Lukowski. He'll pick up a couple, but it's going to be 4th and 14 for Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and this is always one of those things that is interesting to watch. These guys on the the first offense, the first team offense, they come out. They say, get your jackets on. Go sit down for a while, and then you hear punt team, and everybody's got to throw their jackets off, find their helmets wherever they put it, and get back out there on the field.
You see Stellar out there, to your point. You've got David back out there, Spears. So Stellar's first punt of the night's a good one. It's going to be Kelly. He takes it at about the 33-yard line. He gets the sideline, and then he just skips out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers. Let's see exactly where they mark him out. Looks like about the 41.
Yeah, so this is going to be, we're going to see more, more changes on the defensive side of the ball here for the Red Tornadoes. Again, we'll try and get all those guys. Looks like in the defensive backfield there, it's going to be Lukoski and Chase Belichick. At the safeties, Diaz and Orville Fesniak. At the corner spots, looks like Gavin Dempko and Yagodinsky at the linebackers. Al Bailey and Maddox Reed at the defensive ends. And I believe you've got number 70, Langton in there at nose tackle.
Low snap to Whittem. He'll have the pitch to the field side of the Brady Horan. Does a nice job coming back into the middle of the field. Picks up a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's looked like a little.
Trying to convince the chain gang to move.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but yeah. Well, so we've got Langton in there. We've also got 72 Maddox Lamas in there on that defensive line.
This one's going to be Kelly off the left side for the Panthers. Nice play made by number 2, Maddox Reed, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So we'll come back for the 4th. Red Tornadoes on top, 40-6.
Yeah, another really good quarter there from the Red Tornadoes, offensively and defensively. I mean, pretty much other than that one drive that the Panthers had, their defense has looked pretty formidable in this game, along with offensively, just kind of an offensive explosion.
Yeah, so the final Tornado throwback for tonight, the 3rd of 3 that Aaron had provided, is Manus McCracken. So Manus, you'll remember, is a 2018 MCA grad. He's currently playing linebacker wearing number 50 for Princeton. In the classroom, Manus is a civil and environmental engineering major in the architectural track with a structural focus. Manus is also on the board of Princeton chapter of Habitat for Humanity. Manus was recently named the Defensive Development Squad Player of the Week for the past 2 weeks for the Tigers. So good luck, Manus, and Princeton in your game this week against Columbia.
Yeah, that's very impressive. You got some Ivy League guys there with Manus McCracken doing a really good job.
On 2nd and 10, Whittem's going to throw, and he's got Brady Horan in the open field, and he's down the sideline, so the Panthers are going to score here on a 50-yard pass play to Brady Horan.
Oh, yeah, really good job there. Jim, I apologize there. I was starting to question you, but I shouldn't have.
I got to warn you about something, buddy. If you're just now starting to question me, should have been doing it for a long time.
That's true. The way Whittem's jersey looked as he was rolling out, it looked like a number 7. I was like, are you sure that's Whittem there? It looks like Fogelsanger.
Yeah, but, it's gotten me a couple times too. It's got that little notch at the top of the 1.
Yeah.
Dorschler's kick is no good. It's going to hit the crossbar.
And they're going to play. They're going to play around a little bit there. I'm not sure what exactly that was, but the referees weren't having it. They're like, all right, it's over. The play's over.
Well, conveniently enough, we mentioned. I know I made the Justin Tucker joke earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the ball hits the crossbar, it goes over and goes through. In that case, it came back, and it looked like it went in the waiting arms of Blake Zeisloft.
Yeah.
And he thought, well, I'm going to try to score on this.
Right. He turned this 1-point attempt into a 2-point conversion. Just a quick, one more little update because I know everyone's going to be freaking out at home. It is getting late in the fourth quarter of that Southern Columbia game with Wyomissing, and the score remains 41-21. So this Southern's win streak may be coming to an end.
And so I think for most of the Mount Carmel faithful here, the hope is always, when you have the opportunity, you want to see the Tigers again later in the season in the district playoffs. So we'll see what we can do there. It's a low kick. It'll bounce to Lukoski at the 21. He's going to shake off the initial tackler, stay on his feet. Now there's a flag, multiple flags, and I think just based on what we've seen tonight, that's probably going to be targeting.
Yeah, I think they're going to get locked for a helmet-to-helmet hit.
Yep, that's what it'll be, so that'll be 15 yards there. And again, the most important thing in this case is both Locke and Lukoski up moving around. Nobody injured, all well and good. But yeah, that's what, 3 now?
Yeah, that is the third one of the game so far. 2 by Bloomsburg and 1 by Mount Carmel. So. But you're right. Thankfully, Lukoski and Locke, neither one injured. Both of them on their feet.
And Locke, he's a tough kid, man. They got him listed at 6'1", 205, and he's all of that. You can tell he's a stocky kid. Again, he leads the team in tackles. He's a tough runner.
Yeah.
See if we got any new jerseys out there for the Red Tornadoes, Dan. I think we're good. I think we've caught everybody.
11, I think so.
11:43 left in this game here. This is going to be Belichick. We'll get to see him run for the first time. And get maybe a yard, not much more than that.
Yeah, that's a tough run there, and we talked about the minimal numbers on that Bloomsburg sideline. Been plagued by injuries, and they didn't have a huge roster to begin with. So not a lot of guys healthy for this Bloomsburg team. So not really many guys they can sub out.
Butchick going to hand off to number 27, Luke Blessing. He'll get near the first down. Well, actually, they're going to mark a little shorter than maybe they should have. They'll bring up 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, and that's a good run there by Blessing. I remember watching Blessing carry the ball a little bit, watching film from the scrimmage. And I'm like, who is this big kid that's just running people over? And it is Luke Blessing, who is a freshman. So that kid's going to be running people over for the next 4 years.
Does a good job picking up the first down there with a couple Panthers on his back. So they'll get that ball set quickly, and the refs will kind of signal, keep the clock moving, guys.
Yeah, and if we want to just talk about real quickly here, if everybody heard the gasp of the crowd and then the cheers, I believe that the Wyomissing and Southern Columbia game did go final, and I believe that Wyomissing did win that game, and Southern's streak has come to an end. As all streaks do eventually.
Belichick again up the middle. He'll pick up 5. So it's been we talked about it before, it's been a good night here at the Silver Bowl. A lot of fun. Always, it was a beautiful night. You get we always have the parade coming down 3rd Street here before the games on Friday, but on homecoming it's a little more exciting. You've got the floats that the respective high school classes do.
Correct.
You have the homecoming court announced, so it's always just a good time as Belichick takes the snap off the right side. I think he's going to be a little bit short of the first down here, but there is a Panther down on the sideline, so we'll pause here.
Yeah, and looks like everybody's yelling for Mr. Tom Swaldy, who wasn't aware of the injury because it is on the Red Tornado sideline.
That's number 8, Nathan Borchard, so hopefully can tend to that young man and get him back up on his feet.
Yes.
But while we have a pause here, again, we talk about it every week. We'll continue to talk about it. Supper Club.
Yeah.
Right? Can't forget about Supper Club. Dan, I know you were there last night. You were there the last two weeks now, I think. We'll make a visit next week as well on the 7th. Next week we'll be at the Knights of Columbus in Mount Carmel. Yep. And again, Supper Club, there's a whole lot of fun stuff. We know as we get into the season here, we've been in the season, but Mount Carmel football means Supper Club. It gives, all members of the community really an opportunity to interact with different players, cheerleaders, band members, who attend that night, as well as pick Coach Dara's brain and just get some good information. Jose is always there with trivia. Mr. Sakavage is there with some unique knowledge as always. So you can always figure out, kind of what's going on there. It's just a good time, not to mention good food. Again, the ones that are in Mount Carmel with the Knights of Columbus, those are catered by Hollywood, who sponsored last week's game. Star Physical Therapy and Fitness sponsors this week's.
Correct.
And then
when they're at the West End, it's catered by Chicatanos.
Thanks, Dan.
Coltmont, of course. And it looks as though they're going to try and get Borchard up here with some help from
Zeisloft and Faust.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's up.
Yeah, but again, another blow to this Panthers team. Who we see a lot of. The Panthers tonight are wearing all white, and we see a lot of red jumpsuits over there. And I believe all those guys in red jumpsuits are injured Panthers.
Yeah, and it seems like it just happens, especially when your numbers are low to begin with.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things the Panthers and the Red Tornadoes have in common, I think, is you got a lot of guys that go both ways.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right, and from selfishly, from an announcing standpoint, from a commentary standpoint, it makes it a little easier.
Right.
There's fewer numbers that you have to get acquainted with
right.
Over the course of the week, but certainly it takes a toll on the players. So we'll see here. The referees are over the ball. Borchler's off the field. Should put the ball back in play here in just a minute and get started. It's going to be third. Oh, that's right. We needed to give Zeisloft and Faust a chance to get back. So It's going to be third in a long yard. Here, Belichick's in the gun. He's got Blessing to his left. Lukoski and Brinkash off the right. It's Blessing now, and he bounces to the outside. He runs through a tackle. He tries to use the hesitation move. It works for him. He's into the end zone. We got a lot of flags in the backfield, though. We've got one at the point of attack, and then one came in very late. So we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah.
Again, unofficially, I should say at this point, it's a 34-yard touchdown for Blessing.
Looks like everybody's moving back.
And you got a couple of unsportsmanlike conducts on both sides, so they'll offset.
Replay the down, unfortunately.
Offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct nowadays.
And I'm not sure where that came from, Jim. It must have been back near the line of scrimmage.
It was. Well, I think if you look, you can see where the two flags are thrown. So one official threw a flag around the 30, and there's another one on a biantony, if you will. We'll use some of our local language, biantony.
Now I see him picking
35.
it up there. My view was obstructed of the other one. I didn't see that one. But yeah, and that's unfortunate. That's right at kind of the.
So can't really say for sure who initiated, who retaliated. It doesn't much matter. it's going to...
Because everybody's going to get flagged.
Right, it's going to negate the play anyway.
Right, and that's tough there for Blessing, but gets another chance to do it again here on third and a short 2.
Let's see if they give it to him again. They will. And that time, he's going to fight. We'll be curious to see if forward progress got him the first down. If you look at the judge closest to us, it did. If you look at the judge furthest away, it did not.
And the gentleman holding the yard marker actually moved backwards. They're holding the down marker. Actually moved backwards as that ball was set. And that's I never understand that. It seems like every time these side judges come in, they come in at different spots.
Right.
Like one of them's behind where the tackle was made. One of them was in front, and then they just pick the middle. I'm not sure how exactly they work that. I got to go to school to be a ref, I think.
It's 4th and 1 here, though, so I hand it to Blessing again. He will get the first down.
For sure.
Get down to the 30.
Blessing picking up the first down for the Red Tornadoes. Tackle on play number 12.
So it took an extra play to move the sticks, but they do it nonetheless. Again, they set that ball quick.
Yeah, they're gonna try and set it, wind that clock right away, and keep this one rolling right along.
Now it is starting to get a little chillier tonight. I think
It is.
we're under 50 now, and they'll snap it to the up man. That's Brinkash.
Gets a nice little gain there out of that one.
It's a good push.
Yeah, most definitely. That's one of those plays. That's a wedge play. That the success of that is right at the point of contact, right at the line of scrimmage. If you can get through that line of scrimmage, you're usually going to get 4 or 5 plus yards. If your offensive line can stay low coming out of that snap and kind of get a little forward drive going.
This time, Belichick sends Blessing in motion before he takes it up the field himself. He'll be dropped at the 25 by Fogelsanger.
Yeah.
And give Bloomsburg faithful credit. I mean, I know not a whole lot made the trip, but those that did are toughing it out. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, most definitely. You're right. We haven't. We've seen some of the Red Tornado faithful, very minimal amounts.
Yeah, it's still
but
pretty crowded.
But some have rolled out, like you said, with the little chill in the air and the score kind of where it's at. Thinking maybe they want to head home and pick up, get onto YouTube and catch the end of it in the comfort of their homes. I got nothing against that.
McCoskey will take 2 yards. It'll be 4th and 3. And Dan, if you're not driving, I'm sure you've got the app. Catch us in the car.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's no
never miss a play.
There's no real easy way to get away from us, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you can pretty much find us anywhere. At this point, and it's fortunate for us, unfortunate for most.
It'll be another 4th down here for the Red Tornadoes. 5:38 left in tonight's ball game. Carmel on top, 40-12. Bushik's going to bring Lukoski in motion and give it to him. Lukoski's going to try to get the corner. He's going to be close.
Very, very close. He's going to be right at the sticks, I think. So we'll see what. Well, at least the good thing is if they have to measure, there's not going to. Looks like they're bringing Bloomsburg's ball in already.
So they're gonna mark him short. But here, that's something I want to ask you about, because what you were just about to say. This is week 6 now, right? We're 5.5 minutes away from playing 6 full games.
Yeah.
Have we seen one measurement?
I want to say no, but I think we may have had one at one point. I couldn't tell you what game it was, but I really think, I'm not sure, every sport professionally is looking at ways that they can speed the game up.
Sure.
Triggering booth reviews instead of having coaches throw challenge flags a lot. Pitch clocks in baseball, stuff like that. I'm wondering if that's a way to keep these high school games moving quicker. If they're close, instead of calling the official time, bringing the chains out and measuring, if there's no like real, if it's not now, granted, I believe in if it's a close game in a very very important situation, you might see the refs slow things down and say, all right, we're going to go out and measure this to be sure. But I think right now, like, all right, you're close, we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Just to kind of keep the game moving, get the ball set faster, and keep the game moving faster. That would be my assumption.
Panthers had called a timeout there to make some personnel changes, so we'll try to get those guys called out as best we can. Again, this one's going to be a pitch to Haran. Haran's been a little ball of excitement so far since he burst onto the scene. Again, Whittam will stay in the quarterback position, but Whittam's the number 2 guy to begin with, so not a whole lot the Panthers can do there.
Right. And, you know, we talked about it again. There's not very many guys on that Panther sideline to kind of sub in there, so we're still going to see, you know, a good chunk of the starting the starting 11 out there.
Yeah, it looks like number 2, Zach Leiby, he's out there in the slot position right now. They're going to hand it to Kelly again off the left side. The Red Tornadoes do a good job of blocking him up, although credit Kelly, he's not going to go down easy.
Yeah.
I noticed they also had number 40, Blake Zeisloft, in there as a fullback. We've previously only seen him defensively.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Good job there defensively for the Red Tornadoes. Al Bailey at that defensive end did a good job kind of coming up and turning that play in. And number 72, Maddox Lamas, I think, was there to clean that one up.
Kelly leaves the field for the Panthers. They bring Haran back in. And they're going to pitch it to him to the field side. Does a good job staying on his feet after the initial trip by 29, Ben Miller. It's going to bring up 4th and about a yard for the Panthers now as the clock winds towards 3.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that's a good job on that left side of that defense there. You know, because that looked like he had a little bit of room out there. He got tripped up initially by, like you said, I think it was Miller coming off that D end was the one that turned him in and got an ankle, and then they came and cleaned that one up. It looked like possibly Velasquez, number 13, in there to clean that one up.
Looks like Urban Avage and Adams are out there at the corner positions, both sides, and we'll get a 5-yard procedure penalty against the Panthers. And this is an interesting one because it looked like they were getting ready to punt, but it did not look like Brady Haran, who was the gentleman who was moving a little early. He didn't look like he was just running down the field as a gunner.
No, I think we might see a. Oh, maybe not. I thought maybe we'd see a little fancy stuff happen there.
Chase Belichick back deep for the Red Tornadoes to let that one die at the 38-yard line. It'll be Haran that downs it.
Yep.
So with 2:44 left, the Red Tornadoes will take over back on offense. They lead 40-12 here, largely on the legs of Stellar, who's got himself 3 touchdown runs tonight of 6, 8, and a yard.
Yeah, that's a efficiency right there.
Yeah, right. Well, and of course, the yard, the last one, that was after he had the big 26-yarder to get down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
And then some other excitement. Verano's got a pair of touchdowns tonight. One offensively, caught it from Spears. One defensively, a 50-plus yard pick 6. David had the big run as well.
Yeah.
From 16 yards out.
It's been a good game offensively for the Red Tornadoes. Like I said, a really good bounce back game. After, you know, pretty much the starting 11, the ones weren't able to put up any points last game against Southern Columbia.
Blessing does a good job there trying to stay on his feet. He's going to lose a couple. Fogelsanger will throw him down at about the 35, but it's a tough run nevertheless.
Yeah, very, very tough run. Did a good job fighting for everything he got there.
Again, we'll see how things go over the last couple minutes here, 120 seconds or so. It'll be Diaz off the left side. He does a good job getting inside, and now he's bounces it back outside. He's running hard. Step out of bounds. A little before he meant to, I think.
And Jim, I'll tell you what, Diaz is he is a spark out there on that offense. He gets in any open field, and he has the ability to take it to the house. He can go.
So I think what we'll find here, Dan, is, again, we're at the Silver Bowl tonight, 90th anniversary dedication of the Silver Bowl. It's a great night to be a Red Tornado on and off the field. But I think to the point you made before, outside of our little bubble here, I think the local conversation will be what happened just over the mountain in Catawissa tonight.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Obviously, this is a huge game. Bouncing back for the Red Tornadoes. Look at that tough run there.
Let's talk about Blessing for a second here, because that kid just showcased a little bit of everything that he brings to the table. So he hit you with the hezzy. He got the hesitation move to create a little space, and then decided he was going to drop his head and finish the run.
Yeah, and showcased the speed to begin with just to get to the corner, too.
Yeah.
You're right. He pretty much showcased everything he could there. And, wow, that was a very impressive run there. That's a dynamic backfield in there right now.
Little early movement there by the Red Tornadoes. But yeah, plays like that from Blessing are why, like we said, locally, the concern is going to be those young men wearing the red jerseys tonight. I guess I can't just say red and white,
right,
but wearing the red jerseys tonight, and they certainly deserve it. They've played a heck of a ball game.
Most definitely. They've done a fantastic job, just kind of, again, bouncing back after a tough loss last week. But you're right. I think most of the tea around here, most of the talk is going to be about Southern Columbia's not only current win streak, but their regular season win streak that was at a ridiculous number as well.
And there's Diaz. Again, that time he stayed inside. Tough run, but that's going to wind up being the last play of the game here. The Red Tornadoes don't need to run it again.
But they might try to. They're getting up on the ball quick. It wasn't even set, and the ref wound the clock there.
Oh, and it's a low snap. Blessing's going to keep it. He's going to try to get to the outside. Now we're going to get a flag.
It's going to be offensive. I think we'll be able to just end the game with that one.
So there's currently no time on the clock. But again, there's a flag there. It's going to be on. The referees are going to pick it up. They're just going to pick up the flag.
I think that was I think it would have been good to pick it up either way, because it looked like it. I think what they were going to try and call was an illegal crackback block there. But it looked pretty clean to me.
So that's going to end the night here at the Silver Bowl. The Red Tornadoes are going to walk out of this one victorious. 4-2 on the season now after a 40-12 victory. Again, tonight's player of the game, as far as I'm concerned, at least, is going to be number 24, Julian Stellar. Talked about it. He's got 3 scores. Verano had 2. David had 1 for good measure.
Yeah.
And the Red Tornadoes offense looked back on track after a tough week last week.
Most definitely, Jim. And the dynamic of the really good, the interchangeable players that they have in there. We saw Spears and Davitt move the ball with success in there, along with Widener and Verano. We saw Feliciano and Stellar move the ball with success in there with Widener and Farinato. And then we saw these second guys come in with Belichick in there at quarterback and Blessing and Diaz in the backfield with Brinkash at the fullback spot. They looked nearly unstoppable. It was a very, very impressive ground showing tonight.
On the other sideline, the Panthers, they're going to fall to 1-5, but again, they can't seem to catch too much of a break here from, the injury bug looks to have bit again. I mean, we can see now there's a player on crutches and other significantly limping, so we can only hope for health for the Panthers here as they go forward. They'll be home next week versus Hughesville. Red Tornadoes, for what it's worth, we will be back here at the Silver Bowl with Danville, and I believe that's going to be the PCN game of the week next week.
And for good measure. It actually makes me think now. I kept taking a look at that Southern Columbia score there on ScoreStream. If I can get a score for that Danville game just to see. Both teams might be coming off big wins.
So I think...
And Danville did take a 35-14 victory over Montoursville.
That's great. So yeah, it'll be a couple teams on a roll next week, and I can see Jose. I think he's about to send you the stats, Dan.
I think so.
So we'll hold out here just another second and see if they show up in your inbox.
Yes, hopefully they do quite soon. And let's see.
If they don't, we'll go ahead and get out of here.
They haven't yet.
All right. Well,
And there they are.
There they are. Let's see what
So,
you got.
All right. So to finish the game out, the Red Tornadoes 54 rushes for 398 yards, 7 of 12 passing for 87 yards. So we'll look at 23 first downs, 23 total first downs in the game. Stellar, 10 carries for 105 yards. Looks like Feliciano, 7 for 72. Verano, 4 catches for 59 yards. So big day from those guys. And then rushing for the Bloomsburg Panthers, 22 carries for 37 yards, 6 of 16 passing for 105, and 6 total first downs.
Talk about efficiency. So just to double check, you're telling me Stellar had 10 carries and 3 touchdowns.
Yes, 10 carries, over 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
That's a pretty good day.
And on the ground, we had just south of 400 rushing yards tonight.
As the temperature continues to drop here, we'll try to be considerate of everybody else, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, the Red Tornadoes come out on top of the Panthers 40-12. I'm Jim Lesko.
And I'm Dan Lesko.
For Jose Gonzalo, this has been a WKMC TV broadcast, and we will see you back here at the Silver Bowl next week. Thanks.